Paranormal Central, broadcasting live from Central California with your hosts Jeffrey Gonzalez and Alan Thomas. Broadcasting video worldwide at paranormalcentral.net and broadcasting audio on the Dark Matter Network at artbell.com. Are you ready to witness something you cannot explain?
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Paranormal Central, broadcasting live from the bottom left-hand corner of the Nevada Triangle in a city called Fresno, California. Welcome, my name is Jeffrey Gonzalez. I am your host for the show. I am also the founder of a group called the Sanger Paranormal Society. Have been investigating the paranormal for over 13 years. I've been there, done that. So you want to call me just a talk show host? Well then, so be it, but been there, been investigating the Bigfoot, the monsters, and the UFOs, and the ghosts, and the spirits, and all that. So I needed an avenue to tell it all, and I started this about 7-8 years ago, and this is where I'm at today. Usually I have a host to the right of me, which would be to the left of the set. He's not here today. For if you this is your first time, Alan Thomas, our co-host, has had some problems with his leg, and this past week he had surgery on one of his main arteries in his leg. So he's going to be out for a couple of weeks, and we're all wishing him a speedy recovery so he can get back in here and go at it with me and talk about the paranormal, something that he loves to talk about. Trust me on that one. So right now he's at home. He's probably on the chat. So if you guys want to get on the chat and listen into and talk to him, you can, because I know for a fact he's out there. So all right, for those who don't know, if you're watching this right now on live stream, well, then you are looking at me right now. I am so sorry. And so we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff tonight. A lot of stuff that we all love to talk about. And that's just the weird, the conspiracy theories, paranormal in general. And I have some stuff that I want to show you, some photographs, and we're going to be showing them on the screen there if you're watching us at live stream. But if you are listening to us right now on the Dark Matter Digital Network, those photographs that Danny sent us, which would be for the Bigfoot report, they're on the homepage right now at artbell.com. Yeah, you heard me right. Artbell.com right now has the Bigfoot report photograph that we're going to be talking about tonight on the homepage. So you won't be left out. We're going to be talking about them probably within the hour or so. We had to bump Danny about an hour up. Why? We have two cool guests coming up, one right away, and then the one after the first one right away. So, and then after those two, we're going to get hold of Danny, and we're going to talk about Bigfoot, and then we're going to go to hold of Heidi, and we're going to talk about UFOs and ghosts, and then I have pre-recorded a interview I did today with the producer of the Destination Truth. Everybody remember that show on the Sci-Fi, Destination Truth? Well, the producer called me a couple days ago, and he noticed that we're doing really well here, so we're getting out to the masses. So he called me, and he said, hey, Jeff, you could kindly put the word out that he's looking to put together another paranormal show. And he wants me to put the word out to see if there's any groups out there, any teams out there willing to, I don't know, want to become famous, get on TV, tour the world, look for ghosts, look for monsters, and get paid for it. All those out there who want to do that, raise your hand. Yeah, kind of figured as much. Well, I got him to come on, and we pre-recorded a little interview, and we're going to play that later down the way. And so we got our hands full today, and as you know, something is happening major tonight at 9 o'clock Pacific time, 12 o'clock Eastern time. Mr. Art Bell is coming on right after us tonight, and they're going to be doing a test run of his show tonight, right after this show. Yes, there are probably going to be trillions of people listening all over the world, and probably the last 15 minutes of this show, I'm going to be introducing the show a little bit because hopefully the masses will be listening and waiting for Art to come on. That's my chance to really get out there and push the show. So I'm going to do that. So for those who are listening right now, that's the plan, Sam. So, all right. So the first guest who I really haven't said anything about to anybody. Let's see, is the time right? Yeah, about. He's probably listening. Let's go ahead and get him on. This person here. Art Bell has probably talked about him many of times.
This person.
And I'm just going, you know what? Everybody knows who Keith Rowland is. Keith, how's it going?
Good evening, everyone.
And for those who don't know, this is Art Bell's right-hand man. Mr. Keith Rowland is the mastermind behind the Dark Matter Digital Network. Isn't that right, mister?
Yes, sir.
All right.
So plugging everything in and making it all work.
Right.
For many months now.
So, okay, let's talk about, well, first of all, everybody probably has heard Art Bell say Keith so many times on his show the past, years that he's been on. And you are the person he's been referring to when it comes to Keith.
Yep.
So when did you become involved with Art Bell? How did you get into this?
Oh, wow. Back in the 90s, at the very beginning of the Internet age, or I should say the World Wide Web age, because the Internet was around and was flagging along, and then the World Wide Web was created. And way back then, I was just doing software programming and staying up late at night, as most programmers do, listening to this Art Bell dude. And when the web came along, and you get your web account, and you get a free web page. And he says, oh, that's interesting. I'm not very interesting. What would I put up there? So after a few weeks of this, that, and the other thing, he says, well, Art's been having these pictures of alien autopsies and weird little aliens, and he's been putting it on this bulletin board system where one person can call at a time in Pahrump. So why don't we put these pictures up on the Internet where many people can access it at the same time? So I did. I made a little fan page for Art and put these pictures on there, and of course, it wasn't artbell.com. Then it was like, primenet.com/TildyKeithR/artbell.com.html. Ha, ha, ha. Try spreading that around and getting...
Back in the days, man.
Yeah. So that went on and on for a good 6 to 9 months, probably, just fiddling around with that. And at some point in time, I hooked up with Art, and we decided that we would do it officially, and I would continue on doing stuff for the show, and got artbell.com from another gentleman who was kind of doing the same thing. We came to a kind of a meeting of the minds, and we created artbell.com and been with him ever since.
Wow. So how many years?
I lost track. What is it, 25?
Wow, 25.
15, let's see. Probably 95-ish, I'm thinking.
Okay.
So there's 20.
20
right?
years. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, wow, right on.
Let's see, 90 about 20.
About 20 years. So, all right. So you are obviously not in Pahrump. You're on the south side of the United States, right?
I am in a suburb called Mesa outside of Phoenix, Arizona.
Now, isn't that so cool that with the technology now that we have, you don't have to be at the location where the person is broadcasting. You can be somewhere totally... I mean, you could have probably been on the other side of the earth and still do it.
You could be in Fresno for all we know.
Actually, you're my neighbor. Shh. Trust me, you don't want to come to Fresno. You know what the story is on Fresno, right?
Okay.
All right.
Oh yeah, it is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, Skype itself is amazing and gives some good quality cross country here, there, across the world.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, I've got, that's where I'm talking. Because if you guys want to know, Keith sounds excellent right now. Well, I got him on Skype. And that's why the audio and just the overall EQ sounds just outstanding.
Mm-hmm. Of course, going out over my station, I'm going through my mixing board directly to the encoder. You're coming in through Skype, but
right.
Then you're picking me up over Skype and sending it back out to live
stream.
Live stream.
Right.
And there's another thing, Who would have thought?
Right.
HD motion video over the pair of wires.
This is crazy. This is crazy. So, my next question, and I think you'll probably agree, is that this is where it's all going. It's all going via internet. I mean, radio, television, all that's going. Let's
see, back in the 60s and 70s, when every little kid had a transistor radio in his pocket because he could listen to the AM top 40 stations, those were the radio days. And then, of course, in the cars. And now, fast forward, and every kid's got a smartphone in their pocket.
Right. And
they're able to listen to thousands and thousands of music and radio stations off that phone.
Yep.
Not through the air, but through cell transmissions, but essentially through a data plan.
Right.
Through the internet. And that's where things are moving as far as the consumer is concerned. Now, broadcasters, there's several people that have transitioned and they're adding internet streaming to their radio station. Pretty much they've all done that. But we decided to turn things upside down and the internet be the primary source of our distribution and programming. And then if terrestrial radio stations want to pick us up, they're going to have to pick it up over the internet and put back out over the radio. So we're turning it upside down.
Right. What got you going? I mean, you're the one who actually came up with the idea of putting this together, right? The Dark Matter Digital Network?
Well,
or the combination of both you guys?
It was see, when Art came on Sirius XM, it was a combination of, okay, we have satellite radio, that's good for the U.S. and Canada.
Right.
But they also have worldwide internet streaming. So, okay, there's something new that we never got when we were just on U.S. networks. So Art was encouraged. He signed on board and said, okay, satellite and internet, away we go. And we got hooked up again and started that whole process, website, and so on. And about 4 weeks into this, we're realizing that the internet portion of Sirius is not quite working out that well. Issues with their software player and so on. So we started saying, well, look, many, many others are streaming on the internet just fine without these problems. Why don't you let us kind of do that in synchronization with the satellite thing so that we can keep our listeners, because our listeners aren't hanging in there. They signed up for the internet streaming and they're not getting it. And then on the other hand, it's not going worldwide. You still have to have a U.S. address to sign up to even get access to the stream. So we weren't getting out worldwide like we thought we would. And so that just kind of deteriorated down to the point where Art just, threw up his hands and said, look, you guys aren't going to work with us, then we'll have to depart.
Wow.
So we said, okay, our next step is to get on the internet ourselves, because we already knew how to do it.
Right.
Back in those last week or so that Art was on Sirius, I basically built up a stream and some programs and was testing it out and said we can handle the streaming, no problem. Our players don't fail after 5 minutes and error out and so on. It all works. Let's prove it. So obviously Art, we had to throw away 2 years of his broadcast life to have the ability to come on and do it himself. And so during that period of time between when he left and now, I said, I got the streaming infrastructure. I got all this stuff built here. Let's build up a network of other paranormal shows in the meantime before Art comes back. And hence people like you and many others, 20 different shows. We all got gathered together and put together a 24/7 paranormal network. And here we are.
Wow.
And now Art's coming back.
Right. And I think this is the one of its kind. I don't think there's another network like this out there. Is there?
Oh, yeah, there's a few other paranormal networks that popped up over the years.
Okay.
I didn't even know of any of them. When I was with Art, it was like that's the first time in many years, since he left doing stuff with the Coast, I was pretty much out of the picture during those days. And when he got back into Sirius, it's like, well, that's the first time I got back into even having any kind of contact with the paranormal community. And primarily just running Art's website and not just seeing what was out there paranormal website-wise. But when we got to doing the streaming, it says, okay, we need to do the stream. Let's get some shows. Then I finally realized, there are a few other networks out there that are doing paranormal shows. So I didn't want to go and steal people's shows from other networks. So I just looked around for shows that were not on any particular network, that were just on their own. They sounded good, did good quality show. And I said, well, would you like to come on board and let's do some live streaming and live programs of what you're doing? And you were a great candidate. You were already doing a live show and very interactive. but not on any particular broadcast network,
Right.
other than your own live stream thing. So I said, well, let's include you in the mix over here, and we gathered up several of them. And so we're not unique in that we're a paranormal network. Maybe we're unique in the way we do live shows,
Right.
and so on, and the choices that we've made. I try to produce a quality product and try to keep every show as good a quality as possible. And that was the criteria for picking who's going to be here. And we've had a pretty good run. We've had to lose a few. We've gained a few. But I think we're doing a pretty good job.
And it sounds really, really good compared to I don't know of these other networks you're talking about, but the quality you're putting out is just top notch. And I think the radio community has got to be freaking out right now because art's a big deal, dude. Art is going to attract sooner or later millions of listeners worldwide. And I know there is a couple of other very big, radio hosts, and they've got to be freaking out right now. So, and I'm telling you right now, and I know for a fact that they've got to be freaking out. So, and I just want to say, thank you for bringing us in a couple of years ago when this all started. When I found myself going to be on artbell.com, it's something where, you have to pinch yourself. And then I knew this day would come. I knew that Art Bell would finally come back. And we're here. We are here. And now, so Art Bell, back in the days when I used to listen to him, from 10 to 2 or whatever it was, 10 to 4, obviously the times changed.
Yeah, right.
Now he's going to be on from 9 to 12 Pacific. Is that right?
Yep.
So, and that's Monday through Friday?
Yes.
Okay. Now, obviously, there was a lot of other shows going on at that time. You had to move those people. Where did you?
Yep.
Did some get
dropped? Well, that's in a secret white room over here. We're juggling all the little boxes trying to put everybody in a new spot.
Wow.
I haven't posted it yet because it's still in flux. That's my project tonight.
Right.
Is to schedule what's going to happen now. Certainly we had to move the 9 to 12 block, which was our primary. I mean, it was our prime time, and that's a spot that obviously Art was going to jump into. So before he got here, I put all of our best shows, the live shows, and a lot of the good pre-recorded shows from 5 until 11. In that big time block. But now we got to make room for Art, and then Richard Hoagland's coming on at midnight Pacific for a couple hours, so that pushes some more shows out of the way. So I'm juggling things around. There's going to probably be a lot of the pre-recorded shows are going to be on earlier in the afternoon. So instead of coming on at 9 o'clock, they're going to probably come on at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and that will lead up to our live block. So we still have 4 hours of live programming a day between 5 and 9. So we got 5 to 7 shows, 7 to 9 shows, then Art 9 to midnight, Hoagland midnight to 2. So that'll be a live block of 9 hours. And then there's another 3 to 4 hours of pre-recorded shows that I get every week to play, to fill in. And there's not quite enough now to run them 3 times, but if I run them twice a day, then I've got some space to fill, so I'm juggling things around. Okay. We'll see how it goes.
Is Richard Hoagland going to be live or recorded?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's going to be live.
5 days, 2 hours live.
Wow.
Yep.
Right on. Okay. Now, Art has been quiet on his guest that he's going to have this week. I'm sure he's going to have guests, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So top secret there. All right. Just wanted to...
Well, we know the first one, Graham Hancock.
Okay. And that's on Monday.
Because he happened to be the first one that got canceled when Art quit Sirius 2 years ago.
Okay.
He was scheduled to be that Monday.
Okay. So
we're going to just pick up where we left off.
Right on. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that. Okay.
And it looks like at this point we're going to reserve Fridays for open lines. So there won't be guests booked on Fridays. So Fridays will be the free-for-all night. That'll be fun.
Okay. So for all those who right now who are listening on Paranormal Central, let's talk about Art Bell's how much per month or per week, actually per month, and what they get for that month and how much.
You're talking about the Time Traveler subscription
well,
thing?
Exactly.
Oh, well, that's just a simple thing. We're going to obviously record the programs and have them available as an on-demand archive. So a few hours after the show's over, by morning, there'll be a page up on the darkmatterdigitalnetwork.com website under Time Travelers, under Midnight in the Desert, and there'll be players there that you can listen to the last night's show right there on the website, or there'll be a download link. You can download the file and load it into your favorite MP3 player, however you wish. And so you get access to those. And then you have access during the live show, you have access to the wormhole. And this is what, when I created Fast Blast, 10, 15 years ago, this is a reincarnation of that. It allows you to send a message into the future. Because we call them time travelers because essentially the next day you're traveling backwards in time listening to last night's show. When you're listening to the live show and you want to send a message to Art, you're sending the message into the wormhole into the future, because at some time in the future, Art will see your message and may ask the guest the question that you may ask. So that's what that's all about. So if you're a member of the Time Travelers, it's cheap, $5 a month. That's cheaper than almost any other podcast out there. But just, you have access to those, and you can check in every day. You can wait till the weekend, download them all at the weekend, and enjoy yourself listening to the shows. The wormhole's there during the live show. Pretty much not useful outside of the live show because Art's not there to see those messages.
Right.
So it gets billed monthly on your credit card, and away we go.
All right. Well,
now to keep in mind, the stream, the live program is always free. It's on
right.
Well, I can't say always, but for now it's free. So just tune in at 9 o'clock on rpl.com, click there, or darkmatterdigitalnetwork.com, click there, and you'll be able to listen to Art and all the other programming that's on the network here for free. We're interspersing a few ads into the show, only 7 minutes of ads into the each hour of the show, which is dramatically reduced from what you would typically hear on regular terrestrial radio.
Right. Usually it's, what is it, like 15, 20 minutes?
No kidding. Art did an interview on the John Batchelor show last Friday.
Right.
And so we listened to it live, and then the recording, the actual downloadable recorded file of that 1 hour interview was only 40 minutes long of actual content.
Yeah, it's 20 minutes. I mean, that's
yeah.
We're going to TV here pretty soon in September, and it's an hour show. It's 44 minutes long.
Yeah,
it's
there you go.
16 minutes of TV commercials.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's how you pay the bills.
That's the way it is. So, All right, now tonight, Art Bell is doing a test run. For those who don't know, Art Bell.
We don't know what's going to happen, what's going to break. We've done all the preparation we can possibly do. Got all our ducks in a row. Now we're going to put it to a real live dress rehearsal, I call it.
Okay.
So he's going to come on and do his open. We're going to do the break. I'll run the commercials. We'll da-da-da. We'll run, just do everything like we're going to do on Monday and see what breaks. And we'll fix it in the next 24 hours after that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, tonight is 2 or 3 hours?
We're going to go for 2,
okay.
With the option to go 3, depending on how busy and how Art feels.
Okay.
But it's pretty much open lines. Just take calls. There's no guest.
All right.
We think we'll have enough listeners to keep the phones active early.
You think?
I don't know. Everybody thinks he's coming back Monday. We're going to sneak in on Sunday.
Yeah, that's true. Word got out. I think
the insiders know.
Yeah, the insiders know. The people who really know what's going on is definitely.
They've been listening here.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. Well, I think I've had pretty much everything I wanted to ask you. Anything crazy coming up with the Dark Matter Digital Network that I should know?
Well, other than the schedule being juggled, I'll probably have it posted sometime overnight tonight for the next morning, and the new schedule will start tomorrow. So the programs that we're normally going to be on at, the 5 to 9 programs will still be there. Those are live shows. So you got Future Theater, you got Understanding the Fringe. They'll still be at the same point. They'll be the 2 live shows before Art. But the shows that are normally after, the shows that are normally at 9 and forward on will now be earlier and later. In other words, they're going to be on earlier in the afternoon and later in the wee hours of the morning. So unfortunately, that's just the way it's got to be.
Right.
If you're live, you have priority. If you're a live show that takes calls and has interactions with chat rooms and stuff, we want to try to keep you on in the best time slots possible. If you're just doing a pre-recorded show, then we have the flexibility to move you where we need to move you. And unfortunately, that's just the name of the game. You know, basically, we were here to keep the lights on for Art, and that's what we're going to do.
Right.
And now the rest of us got to kind of move out of the way, and hopefully nobody gets hurt too badly.
Right.
You're not getting. Well, you've been moved a couple times. We've been juggling you around just to get you to fit.
Right. Just an hour here, an hour there, no big deal for us.
Yeah. And also so that we can run your 3-hour live and then right away into another 3-hour live show, and that makes my life easier.
Yeah.
And I don't have to try to pigeonhole a 1 hour and 7-minute show in between you two and start cutting it off. So I appreciate what you guys have been doing. You've been a lot of fun. I mean, I think the first time people listen to you, it's like, who are these crazy guys? But, you know, you guys kind of grow on them, everybody. So
I'm hoping so. And you know, we're ready for the ride. We're ready for the Art Bell ride because I know this is going to succeed. And like I said, I've been listening to what other people have been saying as far as other hosts, and they're freaking out. Radio is freaking out right now, and I think it's going to be a wild ride and a fun ride, and I can't wait. You know, I'm going to be listening tonight, just like all the millions of other people. So
a couple little things to consider tonight. One, you know, we're trying the whole thing out for the first time all together, meshed together. Hopefully, Art's moves his sliders right, and I do everything right on this end, and everything goes out, and the servers don't break, and you know, and everything all works fine. So we're hoping that'll all work, but you never know. There could be some hiccups.
Sure.
And number two, there are some thunder bumper storms in Pahrump going through right now. And if they get pretty severe, there's power outages and internet outages. So don't be surprised if at some point during the show we actually lose Art, because
that would suck.
We are relying on the internet for everything.
It's HARP. It's HARP. They're doing it on purpose.
Well, you know, there you go. But in other words, his telephone lines are coming in through the internet. The feed from him to me is over the internet. So, and Skype calls obviously are over the internet, which he will be taking Skype calls too, in addition to regular phone numbers. So. But it's all internet, and his internet is a microwave link between his property and downtown Pahrump, and so that requires, you know, a good connection.
Right.
And you're familiar with rain fade.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you get enough rain, and it kind of sucks up the microwave links, and they kind of go down for a little while. So anyway, it'll be interesting to see if we make it through the night with the thunderstorms.
Right on.
We could be interesting. I think by Monday, the thunderstorms are backing down, and we should be good for a good run on Monday.
Right on. How is Art doing? Is he ready?
Well, the last few days he's been feeling really happy because everything's been going good and very excited. And then, you know, now we're getting a little nervous because it's coming down to the wire.
Oh,
so.
sure. I mean, it's
happy nervousness.
Butterflies, bats, Mothman.
There you go.
All that kind of stuff. So,
yep.
All right. Well, Art, Art's gonna do well, and there's no doubt about it.
We're all gonna have a good time.
Absolutely, and we're gonna see this network grow.
Yeah, we gotta have fun. Can't put pressure on us, right? Just want to go have fun and bring more people in.
No pressure. Just 5 million listening tonight. That's all.
I know we can't handle that many. So.
You know what? Let's talk about that. You know, I don't know how you're streaming, but how many people can? Oh, because if you're going on the app on TuneIn, right?
Yeah, but they don't necessarily buffer anything. They're just a directory service.
Okay.
So they just point everything back to our servers.
So what's the max people that can be listening all at one time? Or do you have a limit?
It's going to be interesting to see.
Okay.
We have X number of servers that are out there to serve X thousands of people.
Right.
So let's talk thousands.
Okay. Well, you know it's going to change.
It's just a little internet show.
You know it's going to change to
millions. We have capabilities of ramp. You know, depending on what happens tonight will dictate what we do overnight for the tomorrow.
Okay. All right.
So, like I say, we want to stretch it and see what breaks.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Keith, thank you very much for coming on tonight. And
all right.
Again,
you have a good show. I'm looking forward to your guests, and I've seen what's coming up, so it'll be fun.
All right, Keith. Well,
and my condolences or whatever, my best wishes for Alan and his problems there. Right. I hope he gets well soon and. Welcome back.
Absolutely.
Hope he gets back because I miss him.
Yeah, he will. He's itching to get back into the chair, and hopefully next week he'll be here. So we'll see what happens.
Good, because I missed having an interview with him.
Right on. All right, Keith. Take care and good luck tonight, man. All right.
Mike,
see ya. Bye. All right, that was Mr. Keith Rowland, the man behind Art Bell's audio, behind Art Bell's visual, audio, everything. That's the guy who's been doing it for so long, and it's been an honor to have been selected to be where we are today. I knew when we were here two years ago when he started this, I knew this day would come eventually, and Art Bell was going to come back. And to be part of the the Digital Matter Network, and say that, oh yeah, I'm on the same internet station as Art Bell, and you're going, whoa, it just doesn't seem real. It doesn't seem real, because like I said, and I'm not trying to kiss ass here, but man, I used to listen to the dude, back in the days at 10 o'clock when I was in LA. I seriously, I mean, that was the only paranormal thing going anywhere. And now to be associated with him in this way, it's just unfreaking believable. And I think this network, this network is going to be big. It's going to be huge. And I am very excited to be part of that. So I can't wait. So, what's kind of cool, is once our TV show gets on the air in September, and we've been already talking, and it looks it's going to happen. All those people who are going to watch us on, whether it's the Fox Network or the CW, are going to follow us over to here, to the digital to the Dark Matter Digital Network, and all those people who are not internet people or just TV people. Because at the end of the show, I'm going to say, please go to our website and catch us live, either on live stream or on the artbell.com network. Let's just say our show does really well, and we bring in 500,000 people every time we do the show or more. And if they like what they see on TV, they're going to come and listen to us and watch us here on Sundays. And then they're going to get a grip of what's this Dark Matter Digital Network all about. And then those viewers are now going to be listeners. And man, it's just going to blow this thing apart. And I can't wait. So, all right, excuse me. I wet my whistle there. All right. In about 15 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and tell you who we have. 15 minutes. We have David Paulides coming on. Yeah. David Paulides will be on in 15 minutes. For those who don't know who David Paulides is, Google Missing 411, and you will now, if you guys don't have goosebumps already, I got goosebumps. We got David Paulides on in 15 minutes, at 45 minutes after the hour. So, Mr. David Paulides is putting out a movie here. He's trying to gather up some funds. For those who don't know, he has written several books, Missing 411 on missing people in the United States and other locations. And a very mysterious world we live in. There are people going missing all over the place. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, there are literally, we have over, 300 million people in the United States of America. There are people that go missing every single day and are never to be found again. Well, where are they going? Now you're thinking, okay, are these people, these people that we are talking about in David Paulides' books? We're talking parks. We're talking national parks. We're talking people that visit every year, go camping. They take their families, their kids, their pets, their animals. They go up camping for weeks at a time. Maybe not camping at all. Maybe they get on a tour, on a bus tour from LA to go to Yosemite, thinking, all right, we're going to go and go up and climb to the rock and then climb back down, jump on the bus, go back home. Not realizing that one of the members of your tour goes missing. But how can that be? You are with what? How many people does the bus hold? 80? 80 people. You guys all know each other. You guys are walking down the same freaking path to reach the same destination. You see him ahead of you. You see somebody in back of you. All of a sudden, all you guys arrive at the location, but Charlie's not there. What happened to Charlie? He was just right behind me on the other path with, hundreds of other people. He's gone. Never to be seen again. What? Yeah. You know, that's going on right now as we speak. But are you hearing about it in the media? Actually, you are. But not to the extent of telling you we never found him. Just to the extent of telling you Johnny went missing while camping yesterday, and the search party is out looking for him right now. The following day, the same thing you'll hear. Nothing yet on Charlie, but 80 rescuers are still looking for him, and that's it. You don't hear, they found Charlie. He's fine. He's resting in a hospital. And sometimes that's the way it goes. A lot of times you will hear they found him or found her. But you know what? A lot of times too is they find the person deceased. And it's absolutely crazy on how they find these people, where they find them, how they find them. It's remarkable and scary at the same time. For somebody who goes camping with my family, you wonder what's going on. Who is taking these people? Where are they going? And why are they showing up dead in certain circumstances that other people are showing up dead in the same way? So, for all those, tonight when I talk to David, we're not really going to get into it that much. We're basically going to talk about the movie project and what's going on with him. We did 2 interviews with David Paulides that I recommend everybody who is watching and listening to us right now go to okay, don't go right now. Tomorrow, go to the paranormalcentral.net. Okay, I take that back. YouTube, our YouTube channel, Paranormal Central YouTube channel. We have 2 videos in there that we interview David Paulides on both of them. Go listen to the first one. I think the first one is, once you listen to that, either you will never go camping again, or 2, the next time you go camping, your whole way on camping is going to change on you. Back then when I interviewed David, and this was like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, something like that, right when his first book came out. What David does is he goes and he researches the way the people go missing and the names and how they are found, if they are not found, and he inputs it on a book. He doesn't tell you how. He doesn't tell you what he thinks or how they died or how they went missing. What he does is he places the facts, the evidence, the information in the books so you can read it, and so you can go, whoa, wait a minute. It happened to him, and her all the same way. What the hell? But back then, when I interviewed David, I was able to, let's say, get something out of him that I think I was the only person to ever get something out of him. And we have it recorded on that video. I suggest you go listen to it because you are going to freak, and you will SHIT in your pants at the same time. And it's a certain case that we talked about that my voice cracked a little bit, and it was very disturbing because I have, 2 kids of my own, and to listen on what happened to that family, it's incredible and scary. So if you want to freak out, and I mean really freak out, go listen to the David Paulides show that we did about 4 or 5 years ago. Go to YouTube, type in Paranormal Central, and look for the David Paulides 4 or 5 years ago show that we did. Again, you will freak out. So, again, we're going to bring him on in about 5 minutes. I'm going to call him up, and we're going to talk to David Paulides. So, okay, so let's, there's something that we added to the set here. And, for all those who, if this is your first time, we go crazy. I go crazy. I'm a big kid. The stuff you see on the set, it's going to get crazier as we go along. If hopefully one of these days you'll get to see the TV show, then you'll finally realize that visually, I like to bring the audience in, and I like for you guys to just to feel what we feel here, and I think visually, you need something like this to bring you in and to keep you guys coming back every week, and the Hedgehound, as you can see over to my right next to Alan's chair, we talk about everything here. We talk about monsters. We talk about, and when I say monsters, what is considered a monster? I consider Bigfoot a monster because right now at this time we don't know what the heck Bigfoot is. The Loch Ness Monster, the Chupacabras I consider a monster. The Mothman I consider a monster. And we talk about conspiracy theories. We talk about all that, and we talk about fairy tales. We talk about mythology. The Grimm brothers. You guys all know the Grimm brothers. There's actually a show right now on TV called Grimm. Hence, the Grimm brothers. Hence, the fairy tale stories. That's where all that came from. What not to say that maybe all that the Grimm brothers were talking about in their books was maybe somehow real. That these monsters do exist out there. That change into different types of animals. Hence, True Blood, for example. You guys all have seen True Blood. If you guys haven't, I'm sure you guys have. So, again, we talk about everything here. Anything goes when it comes to the weird, the crazy. People think I'm out of my mind when I talk about dragons and mythologies and fairy tales and little gnomes and creatures and fairies and stuff like that. But, there has been reports even in the Native Americans that they talk about this stuff. All right? So you got to open your minds up a little bit. And that's what this show is all about. Because, we're going to bring in people that have witnessed these things. And we're going to let them tell you what they saw. Credible people. And again, we talk about stuff down here that a lot of other people don't. All right, and I think that's what keeps us separated from all those other shows is that we go in it really deep. And but you know what though? A lot of this sometimes makes sense once we give you the facts and tell you how this person saw this and where, then what happened afterwards or before. You're going, whoa, wait a minute. Is there really something to this? And I think there is. We live in a weird world. When you guys are asleep, there's a whole new world going on out there that you guys don't know about. That we kind of do because this is what we do. We research the stuff. We have people calling us all the time, especially on my 24-hour hotline. A lot of people didn't believe that I had an actual 24-hour hotline. And last week's, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, had a caller calling about his UFO sightings. And he looked the number up. He Googled 24-hour paranormal hotline, and guess whose number popped up first? Yes, it was ours. And he called it, expecting to get a message machine, an answer machine. But no, it happened to have called while we were on the air. So I answered it here live on the air, and he's going, hello, who is this? And I advised him who he was talking to, and we were on the air, and he happened to spill his guts at that point in time. And a lot of people went, wow, so you actually have people calling you on your 24-hour hotline. Duh. There's one thing we're not going to do to you guys here. We're not going to lie to you. There's no reason to lie to you guys. All right? I'm not going to tell you stuff unless I know for certain that it's real and that it's going to be told by the person that it happened to. Because there are so many stories out there. A lot of people nowadays are trying to get views on YouTube to make money, and that's it. I can give a crap about that. All right? So my intent here is to give you the real deal. And that's also going to happen on our TV show in September. Is we're going to give you the real stuff, and we're going to blow you away. So, all right, it's that time. Let's go ahead and call David Paulides. And let me put my glasses on because I'm blind as a bat. And go to here. All right. So, for those who don't know who David Paulides, like I said, we've had him down a couple times, and he's a great guest. And if you haven't seen the books or read the books, then it's time for you guys to get them. All right.
Jeff.
David.
How are you doing?
How's it going, man?
I've been listening to the show. Great job.
Awesome. Thank you very much, sir. I enjoy when we are on the phone talking because, we need to let people know what's really going on out there, dude. And it's scary. It's really scary, and people need it's a weird world we live in, and we need to tell them what's going on. And for you to take this whole thing on, it's awesome. And I just want to say thank you for doing it, because I know you've been having a lot of roadblocks, and there are people who don't want you to tell us what's going on.
I think you're right. I mean, just a few minutes ago you were talking about Yosemite, and I'll just tell your people that are listening that June 17th, 2011, a man with a church group came up from L.A., went to Yosemite for the day. His name was George Penka, and George walked with the group up to Upper Yosemite Falls. He wasn't in very good shape, kind of a robust guy. The group was up on top, watching, looking. They came back down. He was last in line. He never made it down. They searched for him for 6 days. And that was 4 years ago. He's never been found.
Wow.
And there's really not a lot of places to go up there.
No, there isn't. And you have people on that path, daily, hundreds of people. So where in the hell did he go?
That is $1 million question.
God, that's just, dude, we're talking sci-fi here, man. We're talking like a door opens up and he falls through and like Land of the Lost and there's another dimension. I mean, it could be anything.
I was talking about this case to somebody maybe a week ago because we knew how heavily traveled that trail is, and if they were bringing cadaver dogs along that way or even people walking along the path, if George was still there, the odor would be there and everyone would smell it.
Right.
So it's pretty obvious he's not there.
He's not there. Man, okay. All right, well, hey, welcome back, dude, and it's awesome that you are here because I saw your post and you're getting ready to continue on to your next adventure, and I want to tell everybody what you're doing here, so I'm going to let you go ahead and do it. You got a movie. You want to film a movie about this, right? A documentary.
Well, actually, we're about halfway into it, I would say, right now. I've been approached probably 10 times by different groups in the last 5 years about wanting to do a documentary on the books. The issue is, for people that don't know, is many times these companies want to take dramatic recreations and do it at their own way and exaggerate it and not do it factually. And one of the demands I had was I wanted to be one of those people at that table making a decision about what would happen on screen and what wouldn't, because I didn't want anyone to think there was any exaggeration. And the fact is, these stories don't need any. They're strange enough. And what eventually ended up happening is I put together a group of Emmy Award-winning videographers, experts, and everything you can imagine to make it happen the right way. We've been to many national parks in the last couple months, filming, interviewing victims' families. And that was the result of the trailer that's online now, Missing 411, the movie. If you go to Kickstarter.com, just type in Missing 411, you'll hit the site. We're right at $40,000 right now. The target was a minimum of $100,000. Probably we're hoping for $200 because I think at that level we could make something really, really special. And so far, I would say things have gone as good, if not way better, than we ever thought. We've interviewed U.S. National Park officials, a former head of the National Park Service, retired rangers, victims' families. I mean, Jeff, it's really a compelling piece right now.
Wow. And you have credible people telling you this stuff is really happening. And that's what's really going to open up people's eyes, because they think it's just word of mouth and it's just you and you have nothing behind it. You have no proof. But when you bring on, Department of Forestry personnel and law enforcement telling you, dude, this is really going on out there, but we have no idea what's happening, people are going to go, whoa. They're going to freak.
Especially some of the things that we will put on screen. I mean, just recently we've gotten crime scene photos of recovery sites that will just blow people's minds.
Wow. And I obviously I follow you on Facebook, and for the past, let's just say 5 months, there have been missing people, and where they're found in boulders. Boulders, man. What's with these boulders? Why are they finding them surrounded by boulders? That's just blowing me away. These big rocks. It's like
I'll tell you people a quick story. Is that June 5th, 2015, just a couple months ago, a boy from Vancouver was with his friends in an area of British Columbia called Chilliwack, and they were walking down the trail, and it's the same story every time. His friends say somehow or another we got separated, and this friend Sagu disappeared. Well, days later, search and rescue, and I'll quote him, said it was very, very strange and difficult to explain why he ended up where he did. Said Fraser, search and rescue commander, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Well, where he ended up, Jeff, is right in the middle of a boulder field. And anyone can go online and see where he ended up. And they say he died from a fall and he had head injuries. But if you look at the slope of the boulder field, it's very hard to imagine, number one, how he got to where he was, number two, how he fell, and number three, how he died.
I remember that post, and as soon as it said boulders and rocks, I knew, oh my God, it's one of those cases that are, it's the repetitive in your other books, man. It's there. It's all right. Let's talk about how many people have gone missing. You get cases obviously from all over the world. People email you news reports, and you get posts from Facebook and people trying to give you the heads up on what's going on in their neighborhood. Has the disappearances increased? Have they been decreasing? Is it still the same?
So the listeners understand is that just because you disappear in a rural area, it isn't something that we'll track or we're going to list on our site. We're looking for a specific profile that we've established after looking at thousands of cases. These aren't people who want to voluntarily disappear. These aren't people with mental illnesses. These aren't people that are suicidal. These cases fit into a category where, number one, canines can't search or they don't want to search, and they can't find a scent. Boulders come in a predominant part in many of the disappearances. Many times if the victims are found, they don't have clothing on or they're missing shoes. In the mere chance, and this is rare, where somebody is found and survives, that person usually has such a severe disability, meaning they're autistic or they have dementia or they have a speech impediment so severe that they can't talk, so they can't explain what happened. And I know the knee-jerk reaction on when you're listening to this is going to be, well, people disappear in the wilderness. And I'm going to be the first guy that says, yes, they do. The reality of it is that these specific disappearances are not animal attack related. And that's been vetted by search and rescue personnel. If there's an animal attack on somebody, there's usually loud screaming involved. There's blood in the area. There's drag marks from the scene. When search and rescue brings trackers in, none of that stuff has happened. None of that is prevalent. And when the victims are found, there's no animal attack normally associated with it. If it is, the coroner usually says it's post-death related, meaning that they died and they were later eaten or predated by an animal. Right. Now, what you asked about the increase from year to year, That's really something that's pretty chilling in our mind, in that in the last 3 or 4 years, there has been incremental increases in the number of disappearances exactly fitting the profile we lay out.
Is that because more people are now going camping? Or now we're talking about usually in national parks, right? Or in parks?
National parks, forests, predominantly.
Okay. Well, people go camping every year. They do it as religiously. So we can't say that people are deciding to go camping for the first time. So I'm thinking that is it just that you are now being told about these cases more often than before?
See, I don't think that's it, because this is going on my 6th year doing this, and we have absolutely scoured archives looking for cases. One of the things we did right away when we found out about this is we filed a Freedom of Information Act request against the National Park Service for a list of people that are missing within their system. And why them? Well, they have a very large group of trained law enforcement officers, police officers, that have gone to the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center, and they are armed. They have detectives. They have special agents assigned to the National Park Service, and they have the wherewithal to search correctly, keep data on the information, etc. Well, when we filed the Freedom of Information Act, I had an attorney from the Park Service call me and ask me why I wanted the information. And I explained to him, well, first of all, that's an illegal question according to the Freedom of Information Act, because you can't use that as a decision-making process and if you're going to give me the data or not. He says, oh, that's not going to be a decision because we're not going to give it to you. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, we don't keep track of people missing in our system, and we don't know the numbers. Now, Jeff, as somebody who worked in law enforcement for 20 years, I have lots of friends in law enforcement all over the world. The idea that a large federal agency like that doesn't keep track of people who are missing inside their system is ludicrous.
Or he's lying to you.
Exactly.
Wow.
I mean, I've had some of the best journalists in the world, and if you watch the trailer, George Knapp is probably I think the best investigative journalist in the world. And when he first heard that from me, he said, Dave, they're outright lying to you.
Absolutely.
They don't want to give that information to you.
Yep. I think it's paranormal, man. And, paranormal is something they're not supposed to talk about. And if they did talk about paranormal and missing people, and then what else are they hiding? And we can go on to the stuff that we talk about here. But, wow, okay, the movie that, or the documentary itself, you said you already have half of it shot?
I would say we're between a third and a half done right now. We knew exactly how much money we had. I mean, it was coming from me. Right. And we mapped it out. We knew exactly where we wanted to be. We ended up exactly where we're at. We had the ability to put a trailer out there to show people how good of a production we could do. We shot everything in 4K, meaning, Jeff, the national parks look beautiful. And we actually got the permits in a couple of these national parks, so we did it all legally. The National Park Service hasn't given us any interviews of any of their top executives. They don't want to talk, but their frontline people have talked, and really that's where the story is. And we have many more interviews to do, many more locations to go to, and we want to use special high-end animation to explain the incredible distances that some 2- and 3-year-olds have covered, and you'll realize quickly that that is impossible, that they allegedly covered these distances.
Right.
So, I mean, you've read the books, you understand what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. How can a 8-year-old or a 7-year-old climb over a mountain, another mountain, across a river, on another hill, and they find him there? Well, how in the hell did he get from point A to point B?
Exactly. And that would be part of the animation we want to use.
Right. Awesome. Wow. Okay. So, do you have a time frame? Obviously, I think you've only just started the Kickstarter in like 2 or 3 days, and you're already at 40,000, dude. That's awesome.
Well, it's been a great job by the entire team. One of the people that's intimately involved in this is my son Ben. He graduated with a major in business and film studies, and he was a Division I hockey player, and I've been using him, and he's been the director on the project, and you can watch and see that he's done incredible work. And then we brought on some other people that have expertise in areas where we don't, and Jeff, I'm really proud of what they've done, and I can tell you that the guys that saw some of the interviews we did with the victims were stunned of what they heard.
Freaked out. Freaked out is the word, because okay, well, obviously you heard before the broadcast, before you came on, that I instructed people to go and listen to our interviews that we've done in the past years, and I think once they figure out what we're talking, when they finally listen to that and finally realize what's really going on, where can my audience get your books? Because if they go to Amazon or something, they're going to be spending $150, $200 a piece, but I don't think that's how much they are.
Well, the easiest way is probably just Google Missing 411, and it'll take you to our site. But again, the film site where we need people to pledge, and we put up some really fun and good rewards for the pledges, is go to Kickstarter.com, Missing 411, and peruse through it. And there's some real fun things that you can do. We have a couple of openings where you can actually be in the movie. So we want to get people involved.
Awesome. All right, David, thank you very much for coming on tonight. I'm going to let you go. And for all those who want to go and contribute on the Kickstarter, search Missing 411, get you there. We got some great perks that you can get for different types of amounts of money that you give. And let's get you back on here pretty soon, David, for a good, solid interview and talk about some new cases that popped up, and let's freak some more people out.
Jeff, anytime. I love you. I love your show, and thank you for having me.
Awesome. Thank you, David. Okay, we'll talk to you soon, right?
Take care.
Okay, see ya.
Bye.
Bye. All right, David Paulides. And again, I don't want to force you to, you know what? You're going to freak out. Go listen to the first interview I did with David Paulides. Go to YouTube, type in Paranormal Central, look for David Paulides, and I that video, it's a 3-hour show, but once you finish listening or watching that show, you're going to realize that there's a whole world out there, and that video that we shot, that interview, again, there's one case that he talks about that is going to freak you out, and that's all I'm going to say. So I want you guys to go and watch that 3-hour interview, because it's going to freak you out. All right, you want to get it freaked out even more? I have a picture of Danny Valderrama right here. No, just kidding. Now it's time to get on Danny, our Bigfoot reporter, and he is the guy that we go to if we want to know about Bigfoot, if we want to know about what happened last week on Bigfoot, then this is the guy to go to. This guy is getting big on the internet. He is getting his recognition is just incredible. He's being stopped on the roads, when he's at Walmart shopping. People pull him over and say, "Hey, aren't you that Danny Valderrama dude?" Yeah, it's just awesome. But all right, let's get Danny on the phone. I'm going to go ahead and pull him up here on my contacts, and let's go ahead and get hold of Danny, and let's talk some Bigfoot. What do you say? I hope he's listening. He better be listening. Hello?
Hello. Is this the Burgermeister Burger?
What? Oh.
Hey, I got to clarify something there.
Okay.
That little Alan sitting there?
Right.
Is that a hedgehog or a hedgehound?
A hedgehog.
Hedgehog. All right. You said hedgehound earlier, and that freaked me out.
Oh, did I really? Well, I tell you, he turned into a hound afterwards.
Did he? Okay.
A hedge. I did say hedgehog, didn't I? Okay, hedgehog. Sorry.
So what the heck is that?
What the heck is that? I tell you, there's different monsters popping up all over the place, dude. It's like we have to come up with new names.
Creature found every day.
I tell you. All right. Well, we got David. Jeez Louise. Danny is on the phone, and Danny sent me over some photographs that we're going to be letting you guys view here on the live stream. But if you're listening to us on the Dark Matter Digital Network and you're at the artbell.com website, go to the homepage because his photographs have been placed there by Keith himself. And if that way you can follow us along and you will not miss out on anything. So, Mr. Danny, let's go to the photographs that you sent me. And let's put up photograph number 1. And you are a go.
All right. Picture number 1 is from the Oregon Bigfooters. It's the Research and Bigfoot Sightings page. And there's 3 pictures with this one. This first picture is from Travis Peterson. He was in a meadow in the Cascade Mountains with another guy, and they found these prints on the ground there in the mud. And if you look at that picture, you can see kind of like an S-shaped kind of footprint.
You want me to go to the next one?
It looks kind of weird. Well, the next one's kind of blurry, but you can go ahead and go to the next one.
Okay.
They were taken with their cell phone. He had his friend put his hand there for scale. You can kind of see the outline, but it looks really weird right away because it's kind of an S shape.
Right.
But is it a Bigfoot? Nope.
No. What?
This is actually a bear print.
Oh, you suck.
This is a bear double step. And what the bears will do is they'll step down with their front step, and then when the way they move their hips, their back foot steps right underneath or sometimes on top of their first footprint. So if you look closely at this one, you can see where the toes are at the top, and on the first picture where his thumb is, that's actually the bottom of the print right there. So it's kind of small from the toes down to the guy's thumb. That's actually the actual footprint.
So I'm on picture number 3 right now. The bear.
The bear. Go back to picture number 1.
Okay. Number 1. All right. I'll go ahead and zoom in on that for you.
All right. So you see where the bear's toes are at the top, and then you see where the guy's thumb is.
Right.
Just above his thumb, you'll see the round part of the bottom of the foot, and that's how big the footprint actually is. So it's not very big at all.
Okay, I follow you.
That's the original footprint, and then the back foot is the bottom part.
Now,
on it.
So the people who placed these photographs on the net, they knew
that they were bear prints.
Okay, that was my next question.
And they wanted to show you how easily you can be tricked,
gotcha,
or fooled, or if you don't know what you're looking at.
Well, because it's in an S shape, that probably throws a red flag right off the bat, right?
I thought that was strange as soon as I saw it.
Yeah,
because
all the prints that we have seen are a regular footprint, and there's no doubt about it that it's a footprint. And stuff like this, when it's always that the heel is way over to the right compared to the upper foot, then you're going to wait a minute. There's not right here at all. Because if a person was going to lie and hoax this, it would not be, an S-shaped footprint for one thing. So, but yeah, I follow you. So.
And a lot of people were saying, well, this isn't even a bear because I don't see any claw prints. How can it be a bear?
Right.
And depending on the mud and how deep the imprint is, the impression in the ground,
right,
you may not see the claws. And I confirmed this with Dr. Meldrum. I sent him some pictures a couple times back and to ask his opinion on them. And he said a couple times that they were bears, and I said, "Are you sure? I don't see any claw marks." He said, "They don't always show up," and that's what the third picture is there. You can see that not always do the bear claws touch the ground. So if he's going to step down in the ground, if it's really muddy, then you'll be able to see the claws because the footprint will go into the ground further.
Right. Well,
we've seen them at our campsite too.
Oh yeah, absolutely we have, and we know right away they're bear. Yeah. Because you see the claws, the little points at the very top. They're points.
And little holes in the ground.
Right. And that would be a bear. And then we stand up and look around, and we take Ellen's cane and we run.
Yep. And we'd look at the trail cam pictures, and we'd see the little cub with the mama.
Yes.
So, whoa, that's not good.
That's not good at all. So, all right, let's go to excuse me, picture number 4. Got a picture here of what looks to be a Bigfoot with red eyes.
Yep. This is from Squatching.com. This one has 3 pictures. There's a new reality show in the works, and they're filming Squatchers. And they're gearing up to film Squatcher groups from across North America. And who are they looking for? Anybody that's boring, interesting, psychotic. We know one of those guys.
Yeah.
Animated, angry, competent, clumsy, organized, scientific, creative. They want you to be you. They don't want you to be fake just for the cameras.
Right.
They want your group the way it is. And, you know, how, if your idea of squatching is just sitting around the campfire talking, they want to tape that. If you just walk the trails or do grid pattern searches or have camera traps, put out bait, if you track it, they don't care. They want to film you.
Wow.
They want different groups all around, so that it's not the same thing every day.
So what production company is doing this, and where and what, and when is it coming out?
It doesn't say yet which production company is doing it, but you know, it doesn't matter where you go either. If it's mountains, the desert, jungle, rainforest, your own backyard, or a dumpster, or even 20 miles from the nearest road, they said they will keep up with you.
Interesting.
It doesn't matter if you're trying to get footage or still shot or DNA or live body or even a dead body.
You know,
or just prints.
Okay.
They said if it's legal, they will film it. So some areas it's not legal to hunt a Bigfoot.
Right.
And in some places there are. So it has to be legal. But here's the 3 things that you must have. Your group has to go Bigfoot hunting at least 4 times a year. You have to have a regular area that you're familiar with, and you have to have your methods or routine. And it has to be like you already have to have a routine that you do,
right?
Methods, all that stuff,
right?
Regularly. And there's an application on this website. I put the website along with the pictures on our Bell page.
Okay.
So there's an application that you have to fill out, and they will keep your area confidential.
Ooh. Well,
and it'll include, you have to include all your members' names, and you also have to include a 2 to 5 minute video of you guys in action.
Oh. So you're going to fill out a form, Danny?
I already did.
Okay, right on.
No.
What? No.
Not without you.
No, do it, dude. Go for it. See what happens. Hey.
So picture number 3 is picture number 2 is do you squatch? You know, America wants to watch you.
Do you squatch?
Picture number 3 says the hottest new Bigfoot reality show is gearing up to film Sasquatch groups across North America. We are looking for groups to follow and film. Are you one?
You know, this is a good idea.
It won't be the same show because, you know, like some of the shows on TV already have fallen into the routine, and
right.
You know what's coming up next.
Right. This is actually a really good idea.
A different show every week,
you
probably.
Know, if the people they follow, and hopefully they will not try to hoax anything. You know, they might be able to get some good stuff. They might, you know, instead of finding Bigfoot, they might have found Bigfoot. I mean, this is a really great idea, I think. And again, it all depends upon the team they go to. You know, they follow. You know, if it's a group where all they want to do is just get on TV and become famous, and I'm hoping that they're not going to go and try to hoax shit. You know, that just, I just hope that doesn't happen.
Depends on how big the crew is, too, the camera crew, and how many people, because you have 20 people
right
jumping through the woods.
Right.
It'll scare everything away.
Right. But if it's just them following you to go retrieve, you know, game cameras and set up traps and stuff like that, at that point in time, you're not going to see if you can find Bigfoot, but is there any evidence that was left that you can get on film? And I think that's where they're going to get a lot of stuff. I really do. So, cool.
It's Squatching.com.
Squatching.com. Awesome. All right. All right. Got picture number 8. Oh, I remember this one.
This is the last one. It's pretty controversial.
Okay.
And this is from the Bigfoot Encounters page. It's been making the rounds on a few pages this week. And the first photo that you have up is the original unedited picture.
This has been out a while, though, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
Okay,
It's in the 90s.
Right,
This report was done by Mark Travinsky, and this was a photograph that was originally sent to the editor of a magazine called Strange Magazine, and it accompanied a letter from Raymond Wallace of Toledo, Washington. And he said this was his letter that he put in with the picture. It says, "Here's a picture of a female Bigfoot. I bought it. This is the negative. This picture is from the negative." From a photographer. He was up near Mount St. Helens in March taking pictures when he saw this giant-sized female sitting on a log asleep, as she was so heavy with a baby inside of her that she could not move very fast. He said she would have been easy to capture while sleeping on this log on an old abandoned loading site where they used to load logs several years ago. She was just there sitting out in the warm sun and went to sleep. So that was the story behind the picture, and we found out that the picture was actually taken near Spirit Lake, that was just west of Mount St. Helens. So, or allegedly taken. When this guy interviewed Ray Wallace, he would not divulge the name of the person who he bought the photo from, but he did say that he purchased all the rights for the picture for $10,000.
Whoa.
So Ray Wallace sent this picture to another guy. His name was Ray Crow, and Wallace claimed that in the letter that he sent to Ray Crow, Ray Wallace said that he claimed that he took the photograph near Spirit Lake, west of Mount St. Helens. He didn't say anything about buying the picture to him. When this reporter asked Ray Crow if that actually did happen, Ray said, "Yeah, here's the negative. I still have it." So the reporter was able to look at the negative, and it was the same picture that you're looking at there. And picture number 2 is kind of a closer look at it. And you can tell that nothing was added in. They from the negative. It was not an optical or computer composite that they added on there. It's on the negative, whatever it is. It's not a model. It's not a painting. It's actually of a full-size creature in its natural surroundings.
So whatever it is, it was actually taken, a picture was taken of it because it's on the negative. Yeah. Right, okay.
Yeah, so you're left with 2 options. Either it's a real Bigfoot or it's someone in a suit.
Right.
And it's not a totally clear picture because it's kind of dark.
Right.
So it's impossible to tell.
Right.
But most people out there believe that it's somebody in a suit because when you do the little background check on Ray Wallace, you know, he also claims that he had shot between 6,000 to 15,000 feet of 16 millimeter film of Bigfoot. And he says he has a video of him throwing stones and eating frogs and just hanging out and doing what he does. And he claims that everything he has is authentic. He claims that these were taken in 1957, and that's 10 years before the Roger Patterson film.
Wow.
And it's interesting to note that Ray Wallace's construction company was the one that cleaned out the roads in Humboldt and Del Norte counties in California, and they created a new road in Northern California near Bluff Creek, where 10 years later they filmed the Patterson-Gimlin film. And one of his workers, Jerry Crew, found tracks along their equipment they were using to plow the roads. And he found the 16-inch tracks, and he's the famous person that's in the black and white photos holding up a giant footprint. And he's the one that coined the phrase Bigfoot in 1958 when they found the tracks around all the equipment. And they said those around the equipment had 46 to 60-inch strides, twice that of a man. And then in 2002, Ray Wallace died at the age of 84.
Right.
And he's the one that his kids came forward and said that he owned these wooden tracks, and he, along with his brother and nephew, are the ones that created all the tracks of Bigfoot. So right there, nobody believes anything that he says. You know, but I've seen these wooden tracks that he would strap on his feet. He'd walk around.
Right.
And he'd say that they created all of the footprints that everybody finds. But, you know, in looking at everybody that collects these foot casts, even Jeff Meldrum,
right,
not one of the casts that anybody has is of the footprint that he made. because his footprints don't even look real. I mean, they all have like a certain notch on one of the sides, and the footprints all look squared off. I've never seen anybody hold up one of his footprints and say that this is a real footprint.
Now,
So that's why everybody doesn't believe that this is an actual picture, and that the last picture is a close-up of it. It looks like somebody's sitting there, but everybody believes that it's somebody in a costume.
yeah, but I mean,
I think it was taken in 1990. Is what he said.
this one, huh? Wow. I can't say yes or no. I mean, we don't know. We weren't there, so I don't know. Now, since you were mentioning Jerry Crew, I know. Well, okay. I have talked to someone. I don't know. Did I ever mention this to you? I don't know if I have. I know I talked about it on my show. Geez, we're talking 7-8 years ago, maybe. But the big boss man at where I work, he pulled me over one day, pulled me aside, and he said, "Hey," he goes, "my father-in-law," he goes, "he was a kid back when Jerry Crew found those footprints, and Jerry Crew, when he had found the footprints, he went and cast them, and he was driving into town in a station wagon, and the person who I was talking to was a kid at the time. Him and Jerry Crew were good friends, and Jerry Crew came into town, and the kid was in town walking, and he picked him up, and he was in the station wagon, and Jerry Crew told him, 'Look what I have back there,' and he looked behind the seat, and there were the cast of the footprints that he had, of the footprints that you see on those black and white photos. He was there, and I am saving him for TV. If
they also said that Ray Wallace couldn't have made those footprints that Jerry Crew found because he was out of the United States at the time, or out of California.
Right.
He was out of town at the time, so there's no way he could have made them.
Wow.
So I think those are actual footprints.
I think so too.
As far as this right here, we don't know.
Right. So yeah, I know this person, and I'm waiting till we get on TV to fly and get a budget to fly him out here if he's still alive. I'm hoping he still is. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I think that would make a great conversation for him to tell us how it all went down. Because those footprints were like the first that Jerry Crew found. I mean, they were like, that started it all right there.
Yep, that was 10 years before the guy on film.
Yeah, Patterson. So awesome. All right. So what else is going on, Mr. Danny?
Nothing. I think something you have coming up with Heidi.
Okay.
Video.
Uh-huh.
Of the 3 objects moving through the sky.
Right.
We saw that exact thing coming back from Las Vegas.
Now, are you talking about the 3 dots or the cube?
The 3 lights.
Oh, the 3 light. Okay.
Triangular.
Right.
Yeah. We left Vegas early in the morning to beat the traffic, and we were coming through Barstow, just before Barstow, about 5 or 6 in the morning, and coming in the direction from Edwards Air Force Base, we saw that exact video that you're going to play.
Okay.
We saw something that looked exactly like that, and it was headed towards North Las Vegas, where Area 51 is.
Now, was it 3 objects or 1 object with lights on each corner?
We could still see a couple stars out.
Okay.
And when this object crossed between it, it didn't block it out. So
okay.
To us, it looked like 3 separate objects.
Okay.
It wasn't one solid thing.
Okay. All right. Well, we shall see what Heidi has to say about this particular video, and I remember seeing the video. It was just out on social media, so I remember what video you're talking about. So, all right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Danny, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right.
Thanks, man. See ya. Bye. All right. That was Mr. Danny Valderrama, our official Bigfoot reporter, who's getting actually way more famous than both of us. So we're gonna have to find a replacement here pretty soon, because that just can't happen. Not so. All right. I'm gonna call Heidi in about 5 minutes. And after Heidi, I will play. We don't usually have this many people on at one time, but it just so happened that Art's coming back on tonight, so I wanted to get Keith on the same night. And David, Paulides, just released 2 days ago his Kickstarter campaign, so I wanted to get him on too as well, right? And then 2 days ago, I had the producer of Destination Truth call me just out of the blue on my 24-hour hotline and asked me for some assistance. And I said, well, why don't you come on the air and pitch your show and see if we can get some more people to email you? And he says, cool. So I got him coming on tonight on a pre-recorded audio interview that I did. And that one's not too long. It's only like 5 minutes or something like that, 7 minutes. And then I have a paper here full of stuff that we're going to talk about, and I'm going to show you as well as far as clips on here. So, last night here in Fresno, California, we had one heck of a thunderstorm. Supposedly it was coming from the Mexico area, and it came this way. And this one was very, very weird. Do you guys remember The Day After Tomorrow? The movie with Dennis Quaid, basically the new ice age and half the United States going into a new ice age. And you remember in Los Angeles when those tornadoes hit and it just went total chaos? That's the way it's been happening here in California the past couple days, you guys. And we got the gist of it last night. 78,000 people lost power last night in Fresno, California, north side. And there were so many lightning strikes. Many of the news stations here on social media put up locations of lightning strikes, and it was incredible. It was like a lightning hit the ground every 2 or 3 blocks. It's just what? I've never seen anything like this, and a lot of people haven't either. And it was just very out of the ordinary. It's for July for this to happen. It's not the norm. So why are we getting these crazy weather patterns? And it's happening all over, not just us. I mean, it's happening all over. They're saying that we're going to have one of those El Nino years this year. And that we're probably talking at the end of this year. El Nino is going to hit pretty dang hard. And it's cool because we need the rain. The only problem is we don't have the location, the areas to keep all this water stored. We don't have any storage. We don't. So that's why we're in a drought in the central part of California. Weird patterns. Why are we having all these weird weather patterns? And I want to continue with that later on after we talk with Heidi and that small interview. But, and you guys know I've talked about this in the past, and we're going to talk about it again, about September. What's going to be happening in September? Well, I have some more photographs to show you, some things that have happened in the past week that you guys probably are not aware of. I'm also going to give you the schedule of events that are going to occur in September that I think might shed light on some little things, but not everything. To this day, I am still, I still don't know what's going to be going on in September. But there's a lot of hoopla going on the week of September 21st to September 28th. And I want to talk about that. And I want to talk about the things leading up to that. Our military right now are moving, and you're going to hear it again, they're moving equipment out, at the beginning only in certain areas of the United States, but now it's everywhere. And they're bringing them in on 18-wheelers. They're bringing them in on trains, and they're placing them all over the place. Military's doing training. It's called Jane Helm. And this training that they are doing is mostly crowd control, which is very bizarre. The media is not supposed to talk about it. They have been told nothing on the airwaves. But from what people are talking about and what people are witnessing these military personnel doing in parks, in towns, in cities, are crowd control. And so let's take that and we're going to run with it. Crowd control. What could happen here in the United States that they have to activate the National Guard for crowd control? And there is a lot of theories on that we can talk about, and I'm going to get into it. But right now, let's go ahead and call Heidi. Heidi has a lot of stuff. She's been out for a week, 2 weeks, so she has a lot of stuff that she has that's going to be really cool stuff. Like I said, she has the stuff also on the artbell.com website. On the homepage, her name is Heidi Hollis, and the pictures and actual links to the videos are on there as well. So you can really, you're not going to miss out on anything. So let me get a hold of Heidi here real quick. Contacts and call Heidi. Heidi is in Chicago. Let's see how the weather's going in Chicago. Who knows? Hopefully she'll answer here pretty quick.
Jeffrey.
Heidi.
Hey, how's it going?
Going good. Going awesome.
I was just chatting it up with Alan. He's alive and well. This is awesome.
Absolutely. He's on chat right now, chatting with everybody, and probably putting up a hissy fit because he's not here right now.
Yeah, he's keeping an eye on you, though, so this is a good thing.
Well, yeah, good. Oh, good. All right, so Heidi, let's tell everybody who you are.
Oh, gosh. Get your magic 8-ball out and just shake it and ask a question. That's me. I'm just kidding. No, I always like to say that I'm someone who's just experienced a lot of stuff. So I'm someone who's been there, seen that, experienced it, freaked out, found some answers, wrote about it, got over it, and now I'm trying to help others do the same thing and understand this crazy world of ours, Jeffrey. So I invite everybody to go check out my main website, which is HeidiHollis.com, HeidiHollis.com. And feel free to check it out. Shadow People, Hat Man, that's my thing, but I also cover everything. Jesus encounters, Bigfoot. I love Bigfoot. I think Bigfoot's a cool topic.
Absolutely.
And I also invite people to write me with their odd experiences and do my best to give some honest advice without psychic powers. So write me at oddadvicehh@gmail.com. So that's about the gist of it. Oh, and I have to put out there, too, I am trying to help bring to light a new project that will highlight those who have experienced night terrors. So This means, so, the Shadow People, Hat Man, hello, they love to get people when their guard is down. So I'm been trying to, let people know that this is a reality. This stuff is going on. And, yeah, somebody is trying to pull together a project. I'm, of course, ecstatic to see that somebody would do such a thing. So if you're somebody who has ongoing, night terrors, nightmares, sleepwalking, sleep paralysis, all that good stuff, feel free to write me at dustoutlander@gmail.com.
You know that's our son, right?
Your son? Oh, that's right.
Oh,
right.
He's night terrors like you wouldn't believe. It's scaring us to the point where we think he's looking into the future and see what's coming.
Ooh,
that's what he's describing to us, man.
Holy smokes. You know what? I mean, honestly, what I'm hoping with this type of project is that people who need the help get the help, no matter if it's paranormally linked or not, if it's just something that's happening, or, their place is haunted, they're becoming possessed, which I've been met with, actually, with some of the emails that I've been receiving. So, hey, I mean, if this is something that you feel could be helpful, I mean, definitely I would get you in touch with these people, Jeff, because I'm so excited that this is happening, and it's so many people are fighting what I call a secret war in their bedrooms. I mean, at night. Nobody believes what's going on, and they don't have, always the help to get past this. So right. I'm really hoping that, getting this project to come to life is going to help those that like your son.
Now, is your project going to involve the book? Is it what is it? Describe the project.
Well, the project is actually in its demo stage right now. So gathering stories, getting the background, learning about what's happening, And if this gets, a green light, yes, this is something that could potentially go onto a major cable network. But again, it's at its beginning stages and trying to pull those together, the right stories that'll highlight what exactly is going on out there. And of course, I know how it is when it comes to anything that's out of the ordinary. You got to have your scientific, you got to have your psychological, and then you got to have the more practical person,
Right.
that'll be like, look, this is going this way. I feel it's that. And when it comes to night terrors, it does not mean necessarily there's a psychological problem. It doesn't mean necessarily there's a paranormal problem. I mean, there's a fine balance, and finding what that balance is, that's what this project is aiming for.
Okay.
And I'm glad to be a part of it, hopefully
Awesome.
to see this thing come to life. So, I'm trying to help them just get the people together and
Cool.
have people take a step forward,
Sure.
to let this be known that this is going on out there, and it's a real phenomenon, and it's something that needs attention.
And it's not only in little kids; adults are having the same. They're having the same experiences that kids are. Night terrors.
Yes. It does tend to happen to children a lot more than adults.
Right.
But it does. It happens. And a lot of things are said to trigger it: stress, caffeine. But who really knows? I mean, I think it depends on, what is the gist of it? What is the source of what's happening? Like you said, your son is predicting things, so that's
Right.
that's a whole step in another direction. That's fascinating.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Okay. Well, Heidi sent over some photographs, and like I said before, they have been placed on the artbell.com website homepage, marked Heidi Hollis for today's date, and we're going to go ahead and get into it. I'm going to put up photograph number 1, and it is a set of lights. Okay. Got it. Go.
Yeah. This is interesting because I heard what was just mentioned that they also saw something just like this. I forget his name. But
Danny.
Yeah, Danny. He falls around.
I forget his name too sometimes. So.
Yeah. He said he saw something like this. And, okay, this is July 14th, triangle-shaped fleet of UFOs recorded over Rockland, Maine. And there's a video, and there's that still photo. Now, I'm not kidding you, but, I was met with some people on the same day who said that they saw the exact same thing, who didn't know that I was into these topics. It was just a friend of a friend.
Right.
And shows me the video of these lights.
All right. Now, what we're looking at now, right on the screen, is 4 lights, but one light is that the moon?
It's like some weird reflection or something.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but it is triangular shaped. And when you see the video, you'll see the 3 lights moving together in unison.
Right. Because I didn't know. I don't remember seeing that 4th one at the very end on the left-hand side. So that's just like a lens flare reflection. But what she's talking about, guys, is the 3 lights that are not blurry, but definitely zoned in. So that's the one she talked about. Yeah, they move from left to right.
Yes, all in unison, really steadily. It's kind of, and I always love the audio of when people see stuff out of the ordinary. It's like, what is that? What I'm seeing here, I love it. And, when I saw the video of this friend of a friend, it was almost identical on the same night here in Chicago. Same date. So it's just so weird. I don't know. A lot of triangular-shaped craft are being seen around. So,
yes, it is.
So on to number 2.
Number 2. Let me go to number 2, Mothership.
Yeah, this is called a mothership. All right, this is March 30th over Houston, Texas at 2:30 a.m. What's being described as a mothership was spotted, and it shows several UFOs coming out of a main ship. When you watch the video, it's kind of clumped together, but you can see that first image there.
You know what? I didn't have the first image up. Let me put the first image back up. Hold on. I goofed.
Okay.
I thought I had it up. Okay. There is the 3 that she was talking about first before, guys. And we're talking.
And this is a report from Jaime Masson. He was giving a report about this. So, so that main glowing portion has these little parts trickling out of it.
Okay.
Which and they're kind of shifting around. It's really kind of a really, really cool video, honestly, to watch. And when you look at I don't know which picture
Well,
you're looking at. You're looking at.
You see, what happened what happened, Heidi, is the first picture I didn't have up, so I went back and I placed it on there really quick so people could have an idea what we were talking about. So now I'm back to the second picture on the mothership.
Oh, okay. The one that's white and black, where with the writing that says the objects were shifting position. This is an absolute separate UFO sighting.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, picture number 2 and then picture number 3 go together. That first one was a video of a triangular shape. This one's totally different.
Okay, so which picture shall I have up right now?
So that one there, picture number 2, picture number 3, those two go together.
Okay. So I had number 2, so now number 3 is up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the same one that's over Texas, Houston, Texas at 2:30 a.m. And they put this interesting filter on there to show some of the energy that surrounds the object that was seen. In the video link that was placed up on the website, I will get to that one. Okay, there we go. All right, so there is another image that you could go to picture number 4, just to show how some of these larger ships are known to fragment. I had not seen this image and video before, so everybody, you've got to check out this video. This is really a fascinating one. Picture number 4, in the video, further into the video that's up on the website, you'll see this main glowing portion that Jeffrey has up on the screen right there, and then you see this string of lights that are like, it almost look like it's a streak of light, but they're not. In the video, you'll see this main glowing spot shooting these little orbs out. It's amazing. This video was taken May 22nd, 2009, and my Spanish, I do not speak Spanish. Satellite? Ciudad? I don't know. CIDUDAD SATELITE, satellite. But it's also referred to as being a mothership releasing several orbs. I mean, It is an incredible video to see. I wish I'd seen that one sooner. That's a wild one.
I've seen that. I've seen this one. This one's really good. Really good.
Yeah, it's something else. So moving on to picture number 5.
Number 5. Got it.
Yes. This one was taken July 13th over Bensonville, Illinois. What the witness thought were UFOs zipping past, which this video is incredible. Okay, so he's like wanting to document some of the strange weather patterns that we've had over here in Chicago as well, here in the Illinois area. Just absolutely crazy storms. Well, he's shooting video, and to his right, he's like, "Oh, look over here, we have a beautiful sunny sky, and to our left, we've got, the real show." And it was like an electrical storm going on to the left, right? And he's like, it's just silent. You don't hear anything. You just see lightning kind of zigzagging all over the place. And and then he's like, this is really cool. And then he goes, why did I just see a UFO go past me in the video? So, and I'm like, hold on. I stopped it. I paused it. I'm like, that's not a UFO. It's a rod. Jose Escamilla, come on now. This is all rods. There were 2 rods that shot through this video, and that first image there is one. I mean, it's a big one too.
Wow.
And they seem to be responsible for the electrical anomalies that were going on because it was just wild. It was just wild. When you go to picture number 6, the next picture.
Number 6. And again, everybody, this is also on the Dark Matter Network. The Dark Matter Digital Network at artbell.com. These pictures are on there right now, and the links for the videos. If you are listening to us at the artbell.com website, you can go there and catch up on what we're talking about. So we're going to picture number 6, you said?
Yep.
Okay.
And picture number 6 shows the very beginning of this one. Well, I think this is the UFO he made a comment on, like, why did I just see a UFO pass me? So you see the beginning of this tiny rod, and when you progress to picture number 7 and then picture number 8, you'll see this rod just totally come into view. It's just like shoots down, swoops up, towards the camera. So go ahead and click on through them because, wow, it's amazing. I actually forwarded the video to Jose Escamilla to let him have a look at it. It was an absolute wild video to see. I love the comments that the guy is making too. Oh, why did I just see a UFO zapping past me? But I'm like, it's a rod. Oh my gosh, there's 2 rods. That's really cool. I mean, these rods are not little things sometimes. I mean, I don't know. I always would think in my head, oh, rods are these little things like the orbs that people see, but these are some big mothership rods or something.
Yeah, you know what? Depending on how far they are or how close they are, you can't tell the size. But yeah, I don't know. I really don't know how big these are. But I saw the video, and I remember the guy goes, "Didn't I just see a UFO?" That was funny.
It is, right? I love it.
All right.
So, all right, now going on to this next one. Now, I got your message on Facebook, and there's a couple other people that have commented in regard to this, because I wanted to get a little public opinion on this, because it is just so extraordinary.
Yes.
I don't know these group of guys that have posted this video
Right.
and these pictures, and it's so hard to know, what the heck is going on out there in the world anymore, because people are able to fake so much.
Yes.
So, again, I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. If it's a hoax, so be it. And I don't know, but I'll just put the story. Okay, so
yes, go for it.
Is the first picture, June 29th, over El Paso, Texas, at about noon. This fellow supposedly stepped out during his lunch break and saw this beautiful array of clouds. It was just kind of a crazy ensemble, and he decided to take a picture. And he didn't see anything initially, but then he saw this black spot, and so he kind of paid attention to it. You could see from this wider view that you see this odd little anomaly in the middle there. And now, supposedly, these pictures were first submitted anonymously, and now a name has been put attached, Walter C. Lance. I don't know what's been made of this person exactly, if he's found to be legit. I'm not sure, but if you go to the next picture, you'll see a closer-up image of what is seen there. And I don't know about you, but the thought of Star Trek and the Borg coming to invade us.
Where this comes to mind is Transformers, the cube from Transformers.
Oh, okay.
And
Hellraiser even.
Or even Hellraiser, right? Now, and for those who, I emailed or text Heidi a couple hours before the show on the cube situation. This happened in Texas, and the pictures that are coming out are from Texas. I've had actually somebody from Texas who is a fan on Facebook said that one of the photographs, he actually knows a person who took them. So now taking that into consideration, because I think that the name of the group that put these photographs on their YouTube channel is called Secure Team, and they've been getting a lot of great UFO pictures and videos lately, and I mean unbelievable stuff. But they're the only ones who's getting this stuff, just like Third Phase of Moon. Now, we all know Third Phase of Moon, you guys, and I don't have to talk about them, but these guys might be the same deal. But if this was the case in Texas, and this cube was photographed by several people, don't you think that the media would have picked it up, like the Fox network? They like this type of stuff. And I haven't heard that. I haven't seen a news report at all from that type of news network. So that right there,
I didn't find it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Right. It's one of those. Well, that's interesting though that somebody said, "Hey, I know the guy that took this." That's interesting.
So that yeah. No, I'm just I'm just saying that might give it some credibility right there. Now, was he pulling a fast one on me? I don't know.
Right. It's like, this is one to just keep an eye on, I guess. But, I'll put it out there. This is what it's being depicted as, like a wormhole type of cloud that manifested and dropped this black cube out of the sky. What looks like a black cube initially.
Right.
So I guess going on to the next picture.
Okay.
Let me
picture
here too.
is...
You'll see that the guy is
pointing
I
at
don't know if you're on the picture. Yeah, he's pointing at it like, oh my goodness, I see it right there.
Right.
And then going on to the next picture, this is a closer up shot of him pointing at it.
Okay.
And the following picture shows a filter that was applied to show some of the so-called energy that's being manifested around the craft. There's a couple of filtered photos there too. Now, I say this last one for the best for last. Let's put it that way, because this is Borg written all over it. It's just Borg, straight up Borg, and it's just so out there. It made me go, really? Come on, really? I mean, I've seen a lot of UFOs, and that would have made me feel all Star Trekky inside, and then go, OMG, they're coming for us.
Right.
They're going to simulate us. I don't know. It's really a freaky, freaky thing. Do you see? It's picture number 15 and then 16.
Okay. Now, taking that these cubes were filmed in Texas, that it happens to be one of the locations where our military is doing some training right now on Jade Helm. They're setting up shop all over Texas. Is one of the theories among the conspiracy theories that are talking alien invasion or alien they're gonna pretty much come out and say, hello, we're here, and Texas happens to be one of the places that's supposed to happen, hence these great cube videos coming into, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, can this be some real stuff here? I don't know.
I don't know, but are you able to pull up the one that looks that shows like the metallic surface of the craft and like the etchings on it?
Yeah, so
it's picture number 16 and then 17.
Okay, there's 16. I'm going to zoom in on 16 real quick a little bit, but that that cube has, wow, there's some I don't want to say etchings on it, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, then to the next one, that big, the big blown up one.
There's a big blown up one right here.
And then there's another one that shows it even closer. Oh, you're zooming. That's cool.
No. I'm at the next one now that's zoomed in it now. So
cool. Yeah. So, and now this is a trip. So supposedly these same folks that put this video out, they got another witness who took another photograph from another perspective, and she went on record. And that video of her telling her story is actually also linked up on the site. And so if you go to that next picture, the one that's kind of in blue of the cube, this is supposedly from her perspective and what she saw. That shows even more of the etchings on the side of this odd-looking craft.
That's freaking Transformers right there. That's the cube. That's freaking cube from Transformers. I swear that's what it is, man. And again, what have I been telling people, that there are hints in these movies, and expect to see something in the near future that resemble this. And look what we're looking at. I mean, is this for real?
I know. It's like, if this is real, this is some serious stuff here. I mean, my goodness. I don't know. It's wild, And this is what makes me wonder too, because I have seen bizarre UFOs. I saw a diamond-shaped UFO before I'd heard of anything like that before. And it was like, I got the scratched heads, like, what are you talking about, Heidi? I'm like, no, really, I saw a diamond. But luckily I had other witnesses with me, too. Right. But it was, like, off the books. Nobody had seen such a thing. So you just kind of wait till somebody else does out there. And, so when I hear about these cubes, supposedly there's been other cubes photographed. One over Antarctica not so long ago, and some scattered ones here and there. So there are some cubes out there, but it's a bit rarer. But
right.
I don't know. Yeah, but
cool stuff.
I've got one good email that was sent in directly to oddadvicehh@gmail. If you got time.
Yep, go for it. You're on.
All right. So, okay, this one is interesting. It says, "Dear Heidi, hope you are well." Well, I'm getting over bronchitis. I don't know if you will read this. I'm reading it, but I have hopes that you will, because of my experiences, especially of the lava man thing. You're going to love this, Jeff.
All right, go for it.
it has me looking for answers. First and foremost, my Hat Man story is fairly innocuous. Okay. I can't pinpoint the exact date, but it was the summer of 2007 at about 10 a.m. Okay, I was taking my friend to the Chicago area for a girls' day, and we were traveling on Highway 30 east in Illinois. I was driving, and we were talking, and then up ahead, about a quarter of a mile, I saw something walking on the south side of the road. Didn't think much of it because I thought it was a guy walking on the side of the road. So my first thought was, I'm going to have to get over this guy. As we approached, we both stopped talking. As we passed, we both look over to our right shoulder, and then I looked in the rearview mirror, and he was gone. I said to my friend, did you see that? And she said, what did you see? And I said, Zorro.
Zorro?
She said, yes. Yeah, she said Zorro. You know, believe it or not, a lot of people say Zorro. It's kind of funny.
You know what? And you know what? It's because they have never experienced anything like that, so they have to think of the next, you know, what it reminds them of what it reminds them of. So yeah, I mean, Zorro.
For sure. She said, yes, an all-black figure with a cape and a hat. And she goes, this is my hat experience. A dark-as-night figure walking on the side of the road in broad daylight, creepy as all get out. So this leads me into another experience on that same highway with my sister. Fast forward to spring of 2011. My sister and I were coming home from our parents' house, heading west on Highway 30. I remember it was springtime 2011. My mom was really sick. She had cancer, and we were talking. Let me preface this by saying my sister is somewhat of a fuddy-duddy. Yeah, take a swipe at your sister. Meaning if she doesn't want to do something, you're not going to get her to do it. We were talking about my mom, and she was texting her kids. I remember it was springtime because when we left our parents' house, there were farmers out in the fields planting. I remember this distinctly because the wind was blowing in such a way that the dust was coming across the highway at some points. Anyway, the farther we went, the more it got dark. We got about 10 miles out of Sterling, Illinois, and we drove by a field with a tiny field road with trees by it. And I said to my sister, did you see that? She said, what? I said, the thing that looked like a burning bush next to that tree. The thing about this that strikes me as odd is the fact that my sister said, go back. Mm-hmm. So I turned the car around and we drove back east. However, on the way back, we didn't see anything, so we dismissed it. After turning around, going back west, she looked over and there was this thing in the field north of the road that looked like it was on fire. That's when it got weird. Not that the whole thing is not weird, but that highway is a heavily traveled highway until then, and when I stopped on the road to get a better look, it seemed like time slowed down, and I remember thinking when I was looking over to my right and my sister on her phone, on her lap, why is she not taking a picture of this, I'm thinking. I was trying to make some sense out of this. I could see the reflection of fire off my sister, but I couldn't smell anything, or there was no smoke. When I first saw it, I thought, great, it's some farmer committing suicide by fire. Mind you, it was only 40 feet away from me. After about a minute, I said to my sister, okay, I'm going to see what this thing is. So I pulled forward and turned slightly to enter the field road, and she started freaking out, saying, no, 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 go, go, go. So I went. I know you have probably heard of a lot of weird stuff, but my question to you is, have you ever heard of such a thing? I've tried to research that highway to see if things have happened in the past, but can't find anything conclusive. Why I call the thing I saw Lava Man is because if you have ever seen lava roll and spread, it gets black and then cracks, but you can see the orange and red underneath. That's what it looked like, only in the shape of a man. I know how crazy this sounds, but I saw it. My sister also saw it, and it has bothered me ever since. I don't blame you. I guess I have chalked it up to the particle bangers. She's LOLing. And then she goes Fermilab, CERN, and windmills creating a vortex. I don't know. I have never heard anyone talk about anything like this. If you have, can you please respond? Sincerely, Suzette. Boom! How about that?
That's a new one.
Lava Man.
Lava Man. Yeah, okay. I mean...
You You've heard of crazy things out there, so I want to hear your take first.
Sounds to me like a cartoon antagonist superhero against the Superman. That's what it sounds like to me. You know, something that you can see in a cartoon, a lava man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's
Right.
I don't know. That's the first time I've ever heard that.
What is it, demonic? I mean, I have not heard of this before. I have not. I mean, it sounds demonic, but maybe perhaps somebody had committed suicide or had burned to death in that area, and, you know, they're just reliving their death, you know? It could be something like that. Honestly, that's probably the best thing I could think of, but the way that she described the lava, how it cracks and you see the red underneath and parts of, you know, particles falling off and not smelling anything. I mean, that is just, that is the most bizarre thing I've heard in a long time.
Right. I have never heard of somebody describing what you just read. Never.
Yeah. Where's Alan? Come on now, Alan. He's like, it's a demon. I know he's thinking that. No, I'll just put that out there. I'm pretending to be Alan. It's a demon. Because Bigfoot on fire. There you go. Oh. Maybe their skin burns differently and it cracks.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sorry, Suzette. I'm at a loss. Watch the Lava Man reports just pour in after you put this out there. For all we know, honestly, after I put shadow people out there and the Hat Man phenomenon out there, I mean, it just flowed in. And, you know, I thought I was only one. And then to, you know, thousands of emails later, I am still being shocked by some of the stories. So, honestly, after sharing your story, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody has experienced something like this, that they will come forward and share. So thank you for being bold enough to share such a story. That is a doozy, which is, you know, I believe you. You know, got to believe your neighbors at some point. So thanks for sharing. That was a wild one.
That is, like I said, I've never heard of a story like that at all. Never. So that's the first one for me.
So, wow. Cool beans.
Okay.
Well, Jeffrey, that's what I got for the evening.
Awesome.
And again, I want to invite everybody, if you have night terrors, sleepwalking, and sleep paralysis, all that good stuff, please write me at dusoutlander@gmail.com, DASOutlander@gmail.com, and hope to get some help to people and some attention to these topics. So
absolutely. So, all right. Thank you, Heidi. And again, Heidi's information and the pictures and video links that we have been talking about tonight, if you're on the artbell.com Dark Matter Digital Network, you can go to the homepage and review them again if you want. So, all right, thank you, Heidi. We'll talk to you next week, okay?
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
See ya.
Okay.
Bye. All right, that was Heidi Hollis. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it now. I have, like I said, a bunch of stuff that I want to talk about. We have talked about the stuff that is happening now and the stuff that is going to happen in the near future. Now, what the heck are you talking about, Jeffrey? Well, the month of September 2015, this year, in about 3 months now, July, August, September. Yeah, we're almost there. A lot of people are saying that some crazy stuff is coming our way. And that's one of the reasons why our military is involved in the Jade Helm. Is one of the reasons why they're placing military vehicles all over the United States in several places around the United States. And matter of fact, I wrote down where Jade Helm was supposed to take place: Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, California, Nevada, Utah, and Colorado. All right, let's talk about September. Now, you guys are probably going, where did you hear about September? I started hearing about September about a couple of months ago. And there's a week at September that they're talking about. We're talking about September the 21st through the 28th. All right, so what I'm going to do right now real quick is I'm going to put up a snapshot of a schedule that's supposed to be happening in September, and I want you guys to read it. Okay, in September, the Pope is coming to the United States of America in September. Well, big deal. Who cares? Well, all right. Let's talk about the Pope. He's going to be coming down in New York, and he's going to be actually be doing some things that have never been done before, or from what I understand. September the 23rd, all right, the Pope will be meeting at the White House with Obama. Okay, big deal. So they're going to have tea and some coffee and talk. That's what, if a Pope was going to come down, obviously that, it's a given that be the first place to go and speak to, the President of the United States. All right. September the 24th, which is the day after, the Pope will address Congress and the representatives. I wonder what's that all about. Well, supposedly climate change, save the world, all that stuff. Okay? Okay, I can see that. I can see that happening. September the 25th, the Pope will address the United Nations. What about? Climate change. Let's, save the world. Okay. All right. September the 26th. September 26th happens to be a date. And if you have not been watching my show or listening to my show the past, let's say, month, we have talked about that particular day. Something big is supposed to happen to September the 26th. Do we know what that thing is? Do we know what is supposed to happen on that day? No, I don't. All I can tell you is that day happens to keep coming up over and over and over in everything that I do research on in social media, in YouTube videos. People make videos and they talk about this week, but the 26th happens to be the day to look for. Now, what's going on that day? In the United States on September the 26th, there just so happens that there's a lot of festivals happening on September the 26th in the United States of America. Festivals. What kind of festivals, Jeffrey? Music festivals. Like an example. Oh my gosh, the name completely spaced. Anyways, okay, big concert festivals, all right? But these particular festivals that are occurring on that day, or that weekend of the 25, 26, and 27, have to do with the world, with the future of the world. There is one happening in New York Central Park that 26, and it happens to be, and let me put up a picture of it really quick. Hold on. And I believe it's this one right here. It is called the Global Citizen Festival. Global Citizen Festival. What a weird name to give a festival or a concert. And it is occurring on Central Park, Saturday, September the 26th, given by Pearl Jam, Beyonce, Coldplay, and Ed Sheeran. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I think it's that redhead dude, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, this is a free event, but you have to win the tickets. Okay. Global Citizen Festival. What the hell does that mean? Global Citizen Festival. Sounds like a New World organization? Does that sound like possibly maybe something about the world coming together to form something? But I'm looking at this particular poster, and this Global Citizen Festival happens to be surrounded by a red, let's say, donut. Did you know that on the 28th, and I think it starts on the 26th and ends on the 28th, but the 28th happens to be the red blood moon that's supposed to be occurring on that night. All right. Also, from what I understand, CERN is supposed to be activating around that time as well. And you know what CERN looks like. This could, I'm looking at around a donut, basically a red donut with a hole in the middle. A portal, a Stargate, maybe. All right? Okay, so I'm just going to leave that with you to, figure out what that red donut could be. So now, let's go back to that schedule that I had up again. And I'm going to read it to you. September 26th is the concert. Now, September the 27th, the Pope will be at Ground Zero and hold a massive outdoor mass. And then September 28th, the last blood moon. And I believe the next one is going to be 3 or 4 years from now. Let's talk about that weekend. I have been writing down what other people have been talking about out there as far as what they think is going to happen on September. The main one, and I don't think it's supposed to actually be here by that time. I think it's on its way. The Planet X Nibiru. I remember hearing about that 3, 4, 5 years ago from a friend of mine at work. And I said, what the hell is Nibiru? Well, the planet that comes every 3,600 years, supposedly carrying our ancestors on them, the Anunnaki, possibly. Now, they say, though, that the Nibiru is not going to be visible until, like, February or March of next year. But can be, actually, it can be really, really visible. And, I mean, you can see the darn thing like the moon type of deal. That September, supposedly, if that Planet X or Nibiru does come this way, they say it's going to be dragging a lot of junk with it, meteors and stuff like that. Okay, from what I understand, we're supposed to get a lot of that's going to hit the waters off the Atlantic Ocean, and my sources have been telling me look out for a possible hit in the Atlantic Ocean. And a lot of people were saying that Puerto Rico is going to get wiped out, and whatever's going to hit in the Atlantic Ocean is going to cause a tsunami and wipe out the east coast of the United States. What? Well, that is one of the theories. All right. Now, let's take that theory. Now, let's run with it. Okay, if that's going to happen, let's just say, for all those who are listening on the East Coast, I am not trying to scare you, but I am telling you what noise is coming out on this week of September, and I'm going to give it to you. All right? I'm not making any of this up as far as trying to scare you, because I am telling you what other people are talking about, and everybody's talking about it. All right? So let's just say something happens in the Atlantic Ocean, and we have a tsunami, and it wipes out the East Coast. Now, a month ago, 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we were talking and showing videos and photographs on this show here about hints in movies that talk about doom, talk about destruction, talks about the date 9/26/9/23. And those dates keep coming up. And it happens to be coming up, those dates, in movies that have meteor impact involvement. Big planet impact involvement. Those are the dates that are coming up. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, then go back to our archives. You can go to Paranormal Central at the YouTube channel and watch our past 4 weeks, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Or you can go to our live stream. And for those who don't know, we are broadcasting right now Sundays at 6 o'clock p.m. to 9 o'clock p.m. Pacific time every Sunday. And you have 2 ways of catching us live. Either if you want to see us, because we are broadcasting on one hell of a studio that we built especially for you, live HD quality, then go to paranormalcentral.net. That's our website. And you have 2 ways of clicking over. You can go to live stream, and you can watch us live Sundays from 6 to 9. Or if you don't want to watch us, and if you're on the road, or if you are working, you can get the app, the TuneIn app, at the artballot.com website, and you can just listen to us. No sweat. All right? But, so, again, you can go watch our archives, or go listen to our archives on YouTube or live stream. So anyways, those dates are coming up on movies that have been like 10 years ago. movies that people put out in theaters with these dates in it. And I don't know. Let's see. So yeah. So it's crazy. This date keeps coming up. I don't know what else to tell you guys, but I don't know. So anyways, all right. So let's talk about the dates again. Is it Planet X? Is it Nibiru coming away? I don't know. So take that to consideration. Now, the economy. People are talking about the economy going down. And if that does happen, then people's monies are going to disappear. You're not going to be able to get your money. All your 401ks, everything's gone. Your savings are gone. People are, 93 million people right now don't have jobs. How are they surviving? It's the government who's giving them money, giving them food stamps, giving them welfare to survive on. What happens if all that stops? Because these people are living on paycheck. I don't want to say paycheck. Government handout to government handout. So whatever they have in their cupboards, whatever they have in their refrigerator, that is it until the next one arrives on the 31st or the 30th or the 31st. If that doesn't happen, all these people are going to loot, and they're going to go and they're going to get whatever it takes to survive. And that means they're going to take what you have at your home. So you better be ready if that's the case. And you better be ready to defend if that's the case. And that's why I have been prepping. That's why I have told people that they need to prep. As a matter of fact, this past week, I was notified by a Facebook friend, Megan, and she said, hey, I was just at the Winco. Oh, do I have that up? Yes, I was at the Winco at Ashland and Peach. And let me put this up. And they have MREs for sale. But these are not in the full packaged. These were actually open packaged. And then what they did is they spread them out. Because usually on an MRE package, military food supply, they usually have something to drink, the main course, like a brownie or a cracker and all that. So I'm going to tell you what you're looking at right now. You have a pouch, a water pouch, and you have like some chili. You have a main course of pasta, beans. You have a brownie. You have a cracker, and you have cheese spread or peanut butter spread. And you can buy each individually. And I'm thinking maybe that's why they did it, because the Winco, it's a very cheap, and I don't want to say cheap, it's low-cost foods. So they felt that, okay, maybe in order, because nobody would want to buy a $15 package. That's just absolutely ridiculous, right? But if you can only afford so much, then let's open up the packages so that way you can buy maybe a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So this was at a Winco, guys. They're selling MREs at a Winco. Did I go and get some? Yeah, you bet your life I did. I'm not going to tell you how much I spent, but I did grab a lot. That is going to be in our bug out bag. I had it. I was, people were making fun of me purchasing MREs. Let me tell you something, you guys. The reason why I do this, because I feel that we're here for a purpose, and that's to inform you of things that are happening or things that are going to be happening in the near future that you don't know about. You guys who are listening out there have lives, and so do I. But I have people, I have friends that help me look for stuff like this. All right? And then you guys have your family, you guys have your jobs during the day, you guys wake up in the morning, you guys take your kids to school, you go to work, you come home, you have dinner, you pick up your kids, switch that around, and you watch TV, have the kids have do homework, and you watch a little bit of TV, and you go to bed, and you do the same thing over again the next day. Well, there are things going on out there that I think I need to tell you about. And that's why I'm telling you about what's going on at Winco. They're giving MREs. Now, take that and put it with the military Jade Helm, the September week connections, possibly. Okay, I've never seen MREs in a Winco or any place else like that ever. Why now? Is it a coincidence? Well, in this field, I find that there are no coincidences at all. This is there for a reason. Okay, so I am telling you that there are MREs at the Peach and Ashland Winco in Fresno, California, if you want to get some for a bug out bag. What is a bug out bag, Jeff? Well, a bug out bag is a bag, a duffel bag, a very small suitcase. Let's say you are home or you are at work and a major disaster occurs around you, an earthquake or whatever, and you have to somehow get out of town, go someplace far, and do it now. Do you have time to go home and pack, find the necessities you need, and then get out? That's going to take some time. Why not already have a bag ready to go with a couple of changes of clothing, with some food, water, a weapon, flashlight? All right. I would put this in a bug out bag. MREs. Absolutely. You know, somebody was making fun of me, say, oh man, you're going to have diarrhea now. The food tastes awful. What I would do is I would put rice and beans in a plastic bag, which is fine if you have time to stop and cook it. But if you don't, then you need something that you can eat while on the run or when you're driving away someplace far. This is what I suggest. If not, then if you have food in the cupboard like canned goods, tuna, whatever, that's also great too. But I'm giving you different options here. So, a bug out bag. Now, what's kind of weird is that last week on the Today Show, they had, a matter of fact, it was the day after the hackers hacked into the Wall Street. The hackers hacked into the United Airlines. They had to shut down the United Airlines flight terminals because of the hackers. You guys remember that? Several things happened that day. 4 or 5 things got hacked. So they say it was hacked. So they were talking about it on the Today Show. And I remember it was the three ladies and the one guy. All right. The one lady on the left, she was the black girl. She was saying, well, I have a bug out bag and it's, near my door. And they looked at her and the guy started laughing at her. And she goes, no, I have a bug out bag with a couple of days worth of food, some clothing, and a weapon, and some money. And I went, whoa. Finally, somebody who's smart enough to even come out and say that on the Today Show. And the other girls were like, wow, I wonder if I should do that too. And then the guy was making fun of her, and he was going, I'm just going to go ahead and sit down, put my head between the knees, and just say, take me. I'm like, really, dude? You're just going to go like that? I'm not going to go like that. I'm going to put up a fight. Right? Am I saying that it's the end of the world as we know it in September? Absolutely freaking not. All right? But something is coming up. Now, last week, I take that back. I think it was Wednesday. I'm looking at here. It was last Wednesday, July the 15th. The Fox News, Brett Baer, I think is it, Shepard, I think is his name. He was talking about a massive earthquake that's going to occur on the West Coast, Seattle, Washington type of fault. There's a fault out there. And he was saying it's going to be about a 9.0. And it hit social media. Social media kept on sharing. Everybody shared it. And people were going, look at, they're trying to do scare tactics on people and they're scaring them. Let me tell you what happened and I wrote it down here. Let me tell you what happened. Where'd I go? Well, a couple of days before, something happened on the Today Show again. A ticker appeared at the very bottom stating that a 9.0 earthquake just occurred at the Bay Area. Swear to you guys. A 9.0 earthquake occurred. It was a ticker at the bottom of the Today Show on July the 10th. It was the July the 10th. Now, somebody sent me a photograph of a snapshot. CNN ran the same ticker. Same day. breaking news. A major earthquake just hit the Bay Area, 9.0 on the Richter scale. CNN ran it as well on the same day, July 10th. And then on July the 15th, the Fox News came out with this telling everybody about a earthquake that will occur on the West Coast, usually on the Pacific Northwest area, knocking out Seattle and Washington completely gone. And it also goes down to the Bay Area. Now, don't you find that coincidental that on July the 10th, you have the CNN Today Show running a ticker at the very bottom that says, major earthquake just occurred. What? You don't believe me? Okay, let's go ahead and put up I'm putting up right now the one that hit CNN. 9.0 earthquake hits Bay. Again, if you want to see let's see, do I have the one for the Today Show? Oh, look at this. I do. There's the one that says the Today Show right now. Massive 9.0 earthquake hits the Bay Area early this morning around 5, I think that's a.m., and it's at 7:44. They're running this ticker. This happened on July the 10th. You guys, no joke. Massive 9.0 earthquake on the Today Show. They're running this ticker. It just so happens that it occurred also on the CNN network, and they were running the same ticker. Now, obviously, I think they're owned by the same network, or were they running a test? But on July the 15th, Shepard Smith of the Fox Network does a 7-minute or 9-minute long thing, information on an earthquake, Pacific Northwest, which includes the Bay Area as well. Coincidental? Again, I don't think there are coincidences in what we talk about here. All right, so what I'm going to do right now real quick is I'm going to run you that interview that I had with the producer of Destination Truth. And he called me a couple days ago, and he goes, "Hey, Jeff," he goes, I'm calling you because I'm looking for a team. I want to produce another paranormal show, and I would like to locate a team, find a team that I can work with, and put them on TV. And I called them back later that afternoon. I said, "Hey, well, why don't you?" Actually, I placed a Facebook note on my wall, and I sent that out, and he got some emails on that. But I said, "Well, why don't you come on the air and talk about it, and that way you really hit the masses, because obviously we're on the Dark Matter Network, digital network that is, and you can hit a lot of people that way." So a couple hours, actually 3 hours, 4 hours before the show today, he came on, and we went ahead and pre-recorded let's go ahead and turn this up, and here we go. Okay, welcome to the show. We have Neil Mant of Mant Brothers Productions. How's it going, Neil?
Doing great, Jeffrey.
Awesome. Well, you gave me a call a couple days ago, and you are in search of possibly putting another paranormal show together. But first, before we get to that, let's let everybody know what you've done in the past. And obviously, there's one major show that I think everybody in the world has seen. And if you haven't seen this show, well, then you've been in a whole cave someplace. But let's tell everybody, how long have you been doing this? About 15 years, I think?
Well, I've been in television for over 20 years, but in 2005, I first created this show, Destination Truth, which I think came out in 2007, actually. But we did the pilot in 2005. It took a while to get to TV. But Destination Truth ran for a number of years on the Sci-Fi Channel. And then Josh Gates moved on to his new show, Expedition Unknown, on Travel Channel.
Right. Okay. And but you've done a lot of stuff. I was looking at your...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I mean, $1 million arm. You did that, right?
Yeah, $1 Million Arm for Disney. We created Jim Roman's Burning for ESPN. We had shows on Food Network and Showtime, and I have a new paranormal show coming out as a special in August. I think it's August 14th on Destination America. It's called My Child Sees Dead People. Pretty cool show.
Wow.
So I've always been a fan of the paranormal ever since I was a kid.
Right. Now, is that going to be a series or just a one-shot deal?
we'll see how it goes when it airs.
Okay.
It's a special with a series option. So hopefully people will watch it. So please, everybody, tune into My Child Sees Dead People, August 14th on Destination America. And then, as we spoke the other day, I'm actively looking for new paranormal teams to create a show about. I have a couple of networks I'm talking with about a couple of concepts.
Okay.
And I'm open in the ghost hunting world as well as any other part of paranormal. But what I'm looking for are two key things. One is characters. The people have to be good and authentic. And two, I would love to find a new hook. And I don't necessarily. I have some ideas, but I'd love to hear people's ideas and see them doing that hook. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay. Something different. I mean, yeah, everybody is into the paranormal, and it's getting hard now because you have your ghost shows and your Bigfoot shows and your UFO shows, and now we have to come up with something different, and it's getting harder, I think. So I can understand where you're coming from.
But there could be a new entry. Again, like My Child Sees Dead People
right.
is a ghost hunting show. But what we do is our team goes in to the house and does the hunt with the family. So traditionally, most shows, the house is, or the whatever the place is empty. And the team comes in and they say, we'll take it from here.
Right.
That's not how My Child Sees Dead People work. We go in and we say, all right, we do the hunt with you. Where have you had the experiences? Because you know the creaks in your house. So if your house makes a creak, we can be, oh, that's exciting. They say, no, that sound happens all the time.
Right.
But if there's a new sound or a new experience, you're going to know. That's what makes it different.
Ah, gotcha. So you're up to basically any type of paranormal. It could be UFOs or monsters. Anything like that. Then that's what you're looking for.
Yes, but I want a team that has been doing it consistently. They're good and ready for TV. They take it seriously. And as I said, they have their own unique approach.
Okay. All right. Well, on Facebook, I placed an ad out for you. Have you been getting any calls or emails, actually?
I have gotten a few emails,
okay.
So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Right on. Okay. Well, let's give out your email because that's the point of contact. If you want to get a hold of Neil, his email is Neil@Mant Brothers, and I'm going to spell that M.
Actually, you know what? Make it even easier. Just go neilmant@gmail.
Neilmant@gmail. Okay, so that's
NEILMANDT @gmail.
Okay, that'll work. All right, guys. All right, Neil. Thank you very much for coming on and letting people know what you're looking for, and hopefully we can get somebody out there. Who knows? And it doesn't matter too. It could be. Well, does it have to be in the United States? Because we have fans all over the world who's listening right now.
I'm open everywhere.
Okay.
But most of my shows are in the U.S., but I'm open globally.
Okay, right on. Okay, Neil, thank you very much for calling in, and hopefully you'll get a bite here pretty soon.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Neil. Take care. All right. Again, that was just a really quick interview with Neil to get the word out that he's trying to find a new show to put on the TV. I think he's already talking to a couple of networks. He told me he couldn't tell me which ones, which is fine. But hopefully he'll get a bite here pretty soon. And if you want to be a star, his email is neilmand. It's MANDT @gmail.com. All right. Let's go ahead and get back into it. We have a lot of people listening right now on the Dark Matter Digital Network. I want to say welcome all of you who are listening wherever you may be. It is a very special night tonight at 9:00 p.m. Pacific. You guys all know the reason you're here is Art Bell is coming on to do a test run tonight for the first time in 2 years since he's been on. So I want to welcome you. My name is Jeffrey Gonzalez. I am the host of a show called Paranormal Central. And we've been doing the show here on the Dark Matter Network now going on 2 years. And we broadcast from 6:00 p.m. to 9:00 p.m. Pacific. So I hope within the next half hour while you're listening, I hope you enjoy it. We've been on since 6 o'clock. If you want, you can go back and listen to the archive at the Dark Matter Digital Network. Keith has been kind enough to be archiving our shows. And we had David Paulides, and we also had Keith on the first hour, first 20, 30 minutes, actually talking about art and everything. So we had a really good show today. And again, if you want to go back and listen to all of our archives, you can go to the YouTube channel at Paranormal Central. Just search that in YouTube, and you can find us. So let me continue on here because we got about 25 minutes left until Art Bell comes back. Can't wait for that. All right, let's continue talking about this coming September. Wow. CERN. People say they've been activating CERN, or they're going to activate CERN to open up a portal, a wormhole. Are they trying to let something in? Something evil? That is one of the theories out there, that they are trying to open up a portal and evil is going to come in, and that's what they're doing. God, I hope not. I really hope not. Is that the case? I don't know. But what I'm doing is I'm giving you guys the heads up of what I've been hearing on the internet and in my sources. Okay, so it might sound absolutely ridiculous, and it does. But this is what we talk about. This stuff about as ridiculous as you can get. Monsters. We talk about monsters here, guys. All right, Paranormal Central. We talk about everything: conspiracy theories, monsters, Bigfoot, UFOs, ghosts, fairies. And we talk about gnomes. We talk about all that great stuff here. And don't let this scare you, but we talk about religion. Why? Because in the Bible, they actually talk about UFOs. They talk about Nephilim, giants. They talk about all that stuff. So we incorporate all that here. All right? A lot of people don't do that, but we do here. Okay? So let's continue on. Yeah. You know what? I want to show you something really quick. And again, for those who are listening at the Art Bell Network, I apologize, but we show a lot of stuff on my show, and because we do live video feed, HD quality. Robert Dean, a UFO researcher, put out some UFOs that the Russians, some files that he put out, that the Russians put out. So he put out a video, and there was this one particular snapshot that I'm going to show you right now that was taken from the ISIS. Now, for all those who have been watching my show the past years, and I think this was like 3 years ago, we had a massive sighting here in Fresno, California. Robert Thorson, a avid UFO watcher, called me on my 24-hour hotline. Yes, I have a 24-hour. At that time, it was a UFO, but now it's a paranormal hotline. And he says, Jeff, go outside right now, look up at this part of the sky. You tell me what you see. And I ran outside, so did my wife. I got my binoculars, and I saw something. And we witnessed it for about 6 or 7 hours in one spot in the sky, way up in the atmosphere. I know it wasn't really low. It was way up in the atmosphere. Okay. Now, Robert Thorson, because of he's been doing this a while, he actually, he had a video camera, and the guy was able to really zoom in on it really close. Let me show you a snapshot of his video right now. Here it is. Okay, this is what was off the video. Do you see a resemblance of the, and I'm going to say UFO, unidentified flying object, because that's what it is. I'm not saying it's Martians from Mars or Uranus. It's a UFO, frickin' UFO. All right? This is what we got over Fresno. And I'm not saying, when I say over Fresno, in the line of sight of the people in Fresno, because this thing was in the atmosphere. How do I know that? Because we witnessed 7 large airplanes flying underneath this. And several of them started to drop chemtrails underneath this object. Because people were calling me, going, do you see what these planes are doing? They are trying to cover up so you can't see this thing in the atmosphere. And we went, wow. I got a call from NBC. I got a call from KMJ Radio. Blake Taylor actually went out and said, dude, what is it? I see it. I'm going, dude, I have no idea. So let me put back the picture from Robert Dean, Bob Dean from the Russian files. Is that crazy or what? pretty dang close, isn't it? Depending on how far and how close you are. Wow. This is the kind of stuff we're getting here in Fresno, California. As a research team, you guys, for those who are listening on the Dark Matter Network, I'm just not a talk show. I have a team. I've been investigating the paranormal for over 13 years. The Sanger Paranormal Society. You might have seen me on Chasing UFOs with James Fox and Aaron Ryder in the Fresno area. You might have seen my co-host Alan, who's not here, on Finding Bigfoot. College Humor did a skit on me. We've been on news all over the place. We are investigators, so we bring you some cool stuff here that we're showing you. So I hope you go back and watch the archives if you're listening to us right now at theartbell.com, because we have some cool stuff that you need to see. All right? All right, so let me go back right now to my desktop and see what else I have. Okay, I'm going to show you a picture from Pluto. You guys know that I don't remember the name of it, but our satellite has just recently flew by Pluto. All right, I'm putting up a picture right now. Excuse me. Now, is that crazy or what? That's an actual photograph on the left-hand side of the planet Pluto. And if you look on the right-hand side, somebody grabbed the animated Pluto dog and placed it on the planet itself and said, hey, look, Pluto, there's an image of Pluto on Pluto. Really? Are you frickin' kidding me? I see it. Do you? Yeah. Is that a coincidence? That's telling me that somebody is having fun with us. And when I say with us, the human race. I mean, what are the odds of a planet called Pluto and all of a sudden you see the freaking dog's image on the damn planet? That's telling me that ain't an actual photograph of Pluto, to be honest. That isn't. That can't be. I mean, come on. What are the odds? Really? Yeah, and I'm sure for all those who are listening right now on the artbell.com website, probably are on Facebook and have seen the photograph in question. Because if you guys are watching or going to listen to Art Bell tonight, then you guys know probably exactly what I'm talking about. Yep, that's crazy. Yeah, do I believe that's an actual photograph? I don't know. I really don't. I don't. All right. So, yeah, where are we at here? Oh, God, we got about 12 minutes left till the Art Bell returns. Okay, right now what I'm going to do for the people who are listening on the artbell.com website on the Dark Matter Digital Network, I want to welcome all of you who are tuning in and getting ready for the return of the man. Art Bell is probably the person who has put me in this position where I'm at right now. Without him, I don't think I would be investigating the paranormal. You guys are probably in the same boat as I am. I mean, who out there remembers at 10 o'clock turning on the AM station and dimming down your lights, whether you were in your bed by yourself and listening to Art Bell for 4 hours, from 10 to 2, sometimes 10 to 4, back in the days. And it was me. I was there. And he got me going to investigating the paranormal. I started a group called the Sanger Paranormal Society 13 years ago, and I've been doing it ever since. And the reason why I'm doing this show is because I was acquiring so much great evidence that I wanted to show all you guys out there. And the only way to do it was to do a show like this on video, which I did. And then Keith Rowland got a hold of us 2 years ago and said, hey, I started this Dark Matter Network thing, and I want you to come on board. And I said, heck yeah. And I knew this day would show up. I knew this day would come, 2 years after the whole satellite radio incident. But actually, it happened really quick. I think it got here really quick. Now, to a lot of people, maybe not, but, I've been doing this for a while. So, we've been investigating the paranormal, monsters, Bigfoot. You guys, we have some great stuff. You guys all remember hearing about Bigfoot leaving impressions on a window, well, that was us. That was my truck. And yes, I still have the windows of that incident preserved in a case. A lot of things, Monsters and Mysteries did a episode on us and the windows. If you guys happen to have witnessed that, that was us. So we're just not behind the microphone. We're also investigators. I have a 24-hour paranormal hotline. And let me give that to you guys right now, because there are people right now who are listening to Art Bell, again, who have never heard of us before. And I am glad you guys are tuning in early, because, you're going to get the last 15, 20 minutes of our show. And I want to give you that phone number in case you want to call us and, tell us something top secret that you don't want to tell anybody, that you have a photograph or a video of something very, very cool that you want to show us. Also, to let you know, I'm taking this video show, to TV. The Fox Network in Central California just ordered 26 episodes of our talk show. And so we are in the process of shooting, and they're going to start airing the TV talk show in September on either the Fox Network or the CW, because it's Sinclair Broadcasting owns both networks here in the Central California. So hopefully by next week I will let you know what network we're going to be on. And then eventually, like dominoes, it will take off, and hopefully you'll be able to see it nationwide. But if not, we're going to place those TV episodes on YouTube so you can visually see them yourself. We have some great stuff. It's just imagine the Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon talk show. Just take his set, remove everything, and place paranormal props everywhere, a cool atmosphere set with a live band. I also have a live band. Really awesome live band. As a matter of fact, on our exit song called The Unexplained, it was recorded for us, specifically for this show, by the band Possessed Tranquility. You can get a lot of information on them at our website at paranormalcentral.net. And you'll be able to see the band and order their stuff on the web. The Unexplained is an awesome tune they wrote especially for us for this show. So you'll be able to see our TV show if you are in the central part of California on either the CW or the Fox Network. And eventually, again, you'll be able to see it on YouTube after that. But I'm in talks with Hollywood of getting this thing national and then worldwide. And I think it's going to happen here pretty dang soon. So I hope you guys are ready for something very new. It's not something that has been done before. It's like I said, I own the show concept. It's mine. And you guys are going to enjoy the heck out of it, because this show purpose on TV, again, I'm going to bring on people that have witnessed this stuff, have witnessed the paranormal, have seen it, have recorded it, have audio of it, have photographs of it, and I'm going to show it to you live on the TV with the person sitting right next to me on the sofa. Right? And I'm going to bring rock stars. And I'm going to bring actors that you've seen in theaters, big-time actors. Because you know why? Everyone has a story. And I want them to tell it to you guys. And that's what I'm going to do. Again, it's just not going to be just like Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel. But take out everything and just have paranormal. That's it. And that's what you got from us here at Paranormal Central. So I hope you guys keep tuning in on Sundays at 6 o'clock, whether it's on the Art Bell. What I would do, this is what I would do. I would tune us in on the live stream, right, and watch us live in the studio, HD quality, 6 o'clock p.m., but turn the volume down. And then go to the artbell.com website, the Dark Matter Digital Network, and turn the volume up there. And that way you can actually hear us. I think the audio on the artbell.com website is way better than live stream. So you can get the best of both worlds, and that way you won't miss out on anything. That's what I would do. That's what a lot of people are doing right now anyways. So anyways, I'm going to bring on people that you guys have seen on TV. Who doesn't want to see their favorite rock band come on, play a song, and sit down on the couch with the band members and listen to say, hey, we were in freaking Arizona, offloading equipment, walking off the tour bus, getting out on the tour bus, and all of a sudden we look in the sky and we see this freaking round object just hovering above the stadium. And we took photographs, and it's like, wow. Because there's a lot of people, the music that I listen to is, back in the days it was, alternative, but I don't want to say metal, but it was, electronic, like 9 Inch Nails, Stabbing Westward, Depeche Mode. That's my kind of music right there. We got Korn, 30 Seconds to Mars. You know where I'm coming from? That's my stuff right there. And that's the stuff I'm going to bring on my show to let you guys listen to. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to say who it is, but one of the bands that I just told you, I already talked to the manager, that as soon as we get a deal major deal on national, they're going to come and be my first band to perform live. So it's one of the bands that I just announced. So you're going to have to go and rewind it and listen to it and see which band am I talking about. Because it's awesome. That's what I mean. They love this stuff. They love this stuff. And once they see the set and once they see the ambience of the stage, they're gonna be knocking on our door wanting to come and perform their hit song and sit on the couch and talk monsters. I mean, who wouldn't want to see that, right? Well, that's what you're going to get here. All right. We got about 8 minutes left. Isn't that right, Mr. Keith? Keith Rowland is actually going to send me a message right now telling me how much time I have. So that way we can get on to what you guys are actually here for. Mr. Art Bell himself. 5 minutes to music. That's what I'm talking about. We got 5 minutes left. So let me give you our 24-hour paranormal hotline. And I hope you guys got something to write with and something to write on with. And that is area code 559-287-8367. One more time, area code 559-287-8367. That phone number is on our website. The last 4 numbers represent the letters UFOS. Yes, I did that on purpose. If you want to write us, to send us something, you can go to the paranormalcentral.net website, and there is a form, very easy form you can fill out to send us a message. It requires your name, your email, and that's it. And then you write down in the narrative below what you want to send us, and it goes right to me personally. All right. Next week we are probably going to take callers. This today I didn't take any callers because I had a full show today. I had Keith Rowland on. I had David Paulides. I had Danny Valderrama with the Bigfoot report. Again, for those who, if you missed it, on the artbell.com website right now, listening, at the beginning of every show, I have a reporter who's a Bigfoot reporter. His name is Danny Valderrama, and he comes on for about 20 minutes and gives us the week's report on Bigfoot from all over the world. And then after that, we get into it and we talk paranormal. Then about an hour down the road, we talk to Heidi Hollis, who's the author of The Hat Man. And she is actually an author of several books, but she comes on and she talks about the recent UFO sightings and ghosts. And you can actually, both reports are on the Dark Matter, artbell.com's homepage right now. You can go back and watch those and look at those pictures if you want. So, all right. So I think I pretty much just promoted the hell out of our show, and that was my intent. Because if I've got the audience right now, I'm going to use it. I'm not going to lie, guys. But I'm just telling you, there are a lot of good shows on the Dark Matter Network, Dark Matter Digital Network. There's a lot of good shows. I want you guys who are listening right now to come back starting Monday, even earlier if you want. That Keith has lined up a great schedule for all you guys. Paranormal 24 hours a day. You can't get, where are you going to get that from? Well, nowhere except here. And don't forget about us here on Sundays at 6 o'clock p.m. to 9 o'clock p.m. Pacific. Again, you can go to paranormalcentral.net. That is our website, and you can go there and view all the stuff that we have there as far as Bigfoot photos. Yeah, we actually got some photos of Bigfoot. No freaking lie. I swear to you guys. We got some great stuff there. We've been there, done that. We've been, searching the paranormal for a long time, and we have some great stuff, and we're going to keep giving you that great stuff. So, all right, we got 2 minutes left. So I want to thank everybody who's here now listening and who has been listening since 6 o'clock p.m. I want to thank Keith Rowland for coming on and talking about the Dark Matter Digital Network, and obviously giving us the wowies on Art Bell coming on here in about a couple of minutes. So I hope, again, this is going to be the first time doing this with Art Bell Live. So if they experience some glitches, just go with it. Who knows? Millions of people are going to be listening in right now, and they might crash the website. Wouldn't that be nice? Or the government. Either way, that would not be nice. So, again, I want to thank David Paulides for coming on. For all those who don't know, David Paulides has been on several times, and something might break. Yeah, something might break. Keith Rowland just said, something might break. Well, come on, Keith. You're better than that. Nothing's going to break. I think it's going to be the government, dude. And like you said, right now the weather is not good in Pahrump. So they got some lightning thunderstorms going on in Pahrump, so they might lose the feed because, Art is broadcasting live from Pahrump, and Mr. Rowland is in Arizona, I believe. So anything can happen tonight. But if it does, just keep hanging in there, and hopefully everything will turn out awesome. So, all right, we got 30 seconds left. Again, my name is Jeffrey Gonzalez. I am the founder of a group called the Sanger Paranormal Society, with my co-host, Alan Thomas, who's not here right now because he just had surgery a couple of days ago, and he's in bed, and he will be with us hopefully next week. I want to thank Danny Valderrama for the Bigfoot report, Heidi Hollis for all other reports, UFOs and ghosts and all that kind of good stuff. So, and Emerald. Forgot to say hi to Emerald if she's listening. Emerald is not with us anymore, but she will be back around December. And thank you. All right, that's it. I'm out of here. You guys stay tuned for the Art Bell Show coming up in a couple of minutes. My name is Jeffrey Gonzalez. Thank you. See you next week. Bye.
You have been listening to Paranormal Central with Jeffrey Gonzalez and Alan Thomas. Broadcasting worldwide at ParanormalCentral.net and on ArtBell.com. Stay tuned for next time. Remember to keep your eyes to the skies. And we hope you witness something you cannot explain.